Okay, we'll just jump straight back into where the combat left off on our probably like quite a few hours break, so I'm assuming you remember what happened.
Yep.
Well, we left off our character just chucked the unknown potion that gave you all a weird heart-burning sensation in your chest into the dragon's mouth. And we're on to your group of allies' turn. So the one remaining crossman, you see him pop out from behind his now frozen friend and start trying to work his way a bit closer as he shoots out a shot with his crossbow. But you see it like ping off the back of its hide and ricochet up into the now barren section of roof where the icicles are gone. Nathan pops up from behind the box, fires a shot out, and again you see it glance off the armor of the dragon's hide and blast into the side of the icy surface next to you. Though it is now the mighty dragon's turn itself,
We're gonna get
and
eat
both of you roll
tonight.
perception checks.
Oh damn! I don't have a character sheet open, or do I? No, I
Not
don't.
even prepared,
I've had a long day. I forgot all about it.
so we
Oh
have
no.
a currently very distracted Beric.
Yep. Yep.
I
First player,
watch the
first player roll
shitty
of the night.
roll of.
Okay,
Getting out of the way.
so Beric's like mid ducking under a clawed swipe from the dragon, like trying to avoid its attacks. While after chucking in
I
the
noticed.
vial,
It's not
you
indigestion.
you start to see in the chest area where the bluish glow of the dragon's breath weapon would have came from. You see coming through its scales like a dullish red orange, and the dragon starts rearing up onto its back legs, going, "What is this trickery? What have you done to me, you pointy ears?" Its mouth, there's like steam and just steam and water vapor starting to flow out through its nose, out its mouth as it rears back. You can see a fluctuating
Is
fight between blue and orange in its chest. As
it gonna drown on land? That would be cool.
no,
Well, you said a lot of water vapor. Water vapor in your lungs is not ideal.
Yeah, but
it's
what
coming
is?
from its chest and out. This thing breathes ice and can
Yeah.
breathe underwater for quite a long time.
Uh, breathe ice. Ice has water vapor in it if it
Yes,
goes
Yes, but
melty.
yes, it's a dragon that literally lives in ice and water all the time. Water vapor
Well,
isn't gonna do shit to it.
Lon Bodhi's lungs is not good.
It's a
hopefully.
magical monster, so you'll just have to wait and see.
I have a quick question.
What is the question?
I have one divine sense. What on earth is that?
That's a random thing the game keeps adding to your sheet. And when I take it out, because it shouldn't be there, it adds it back in. So it's just a
What
thing.
is my religion? It's one, so I'm a very holy person for divine intellect.
Well,
Right.
you've never asked anything about religion, so it never came up.
No.
I'm a very cynical man.
But you see this almost conflict between orange and blue going on in the dragon's chest, where the light of its breath weapon came from, and with an angry scream of pain and frustration, its head reaches out, snapping towards Ebom, while a claw comes smashing towards Beric
Oh dear.
as it tries to squish you both. So I'll do Ebom first. Ebom is hit by the clamping jaws of the dragon. You can see the dragon gets a good solid bite into Ebom, like grabbing onto his shoulder and sinking in its teeth and almost where the teeth sink in, you can see the wounds as the dragon pulls back begin to almost freeze and frost over from how cold its bite actually is.
Nice.
And after this bite, the hulking claw comes raking across straight for Beric and slams into the ice next to you, scattering you with shards, but just
Woo.
missing past you.
Just trying
And,
not to get crushed right now in between
yes.
the wall and the dragon.
And currently, it is now Airbomb's turn. So what would you like Airbomb to do? Just keep swinging?
Oh. Just hit it till it dies. Hit it till it dies.
Hit him right in the teeth.
So Airbomb goes for a swing for the face.
Nope.
So, you see, after getting bit in the shoulder, he swings up with them all one-handed, slams the dragon across the face, but it just kind of moves its head to the side, looks back at him with a snarl. As everyone's like, "Oh shit, Scaly pissed." Does not look good. Next, well, on Airbomb's turn, the dragon is going to use its legendary action for its wing attack. So each of you need to make a Constitution saving throw.
A constitution?
Constitution
Not dexterity?
saving throw. Nope. This is to keep your
Nope.
feet planted
okay.
to the ground as they're being blown back. So I actually need to do Airbomb. Constitution. Oh. So you see Airbomb, or not Airbomb, the dragon start to lift up its front legs, and its wings stretch out into the wider section of tunnel above it, and beat down air against the three of you in front of it. You needed a 14 to pass, unfortunately.
Oh.
So you each get blown backward 10 feet away from it,
Oh, excellent.
which doesn't really affect a Beric because you're up against
Just kind of getting blown against the wall.
yes.
And not in the good way. Oh
So
no.
you would maybe move it a little bit, but not much.
Ah.
But as the buffeting force of the dragon's wings beat against you, and you're like tumbled about, it like pushes you back, which then knocks you all over to like either be lying on your side, your front, your back. You're all knocked prone, and the impact does deal 7 points of damage to each person. Reduced for
Damn.
Airborne because he is raging like a mad coon.
Okay.
And with this action of the wings, the dragon starts to lift itself up into the wider part of the tunnel behind you, or above you, and begin to fly half of its speed, which is 30 feet, and begins to fly the direction of the main tunnel. The main,
Assume we don't
in
get
room.
free hits or anything because we're all on our
you do
backs.
not, because
Nice.
you're
Oh
knocked
god,
down.
where the hell is he going?
He is flying away.
He can fly in here?
Yes, like I said at the very start when you entered the tunnel, it is narrow at the bottom, about 10-15 feet across, but the further it goes up, it gets wider, so the dragon can fly along the top.
What a pussy ass bitch.
It's his lair where he lives. He's going to make it to suit himself. Just be lucky there's no vertical up and down parts where he just flies up a tunnel. It's all flat.
Wish we had some of that lip left.
But next it would be Beric's turn.
And wait, where's my turn?
You're after Beric.
Because he's in, is he close enough to the ground that I can still attack him?
You could throw something at him, but you couldn't actually hit him in melee.
Okay. Right, I'm going to move. Get up, obviously, and stagger over this way. And I'm gonna try to throw a spark bomb
Okay.
in front of him, sort of like in the
Flashbang.
like. Well, actually, not in front of him. Probably just up at him, because so do I do this with disadvantage?
You'll
'cause
need
he's
to
flying?
roll it with disadvantage. And unless you roll really low, it lands somewhere near him. It's just to make sure you don't drop it at your feet. Or something bad like last time.
Oh, okay. And I did
That's
that
the
with
damage.
disadvantage.
You just roll a dexterity check.
Oh, dear. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
We'll keep that for the damage if it does hit though, because that was a good roll. Okay, so you see the spark bomb as it flies up the direction of the dragon. Looks as though it goes too far, but pings off one of the walls and starts dropping back its direction. And you see the dragon see it coming and try and bat it out of the way with its hand. Hits it, but as the spark bomb makes a bit of distance, it explodes, pushing the dragon to the side a bit. Definitely dealing some damage to its like right arm and side, but doesn't look like anything super major. There might be a couple fragments of the bomb stuck in its scales.
I have
Definitely gets rocked in the air a bit.
I have 2 spark bombs left now. So yeah, and then I think I'll just probably after I throw it, I would kind of like duck in into the side here.
Hide again.
Just yeah, just in case the blast affected me. So
Okay. Okay. And since all three, the dragon, A-bomb, and Barrack, rolled 20s, that means that the dragon's lair, which is an initiative 20, losing initiative ties, goes next for the lair effects, which haven't come into play yet.
Yeah.
Which is, that means you're next, Mackay. This is just an effect that's coming into play. So this is a thing that the dragon's lair does on command of the dragon that you haven't encountered yet. But this circle you saw me drawing earlier is a cloud of cold. Fog starts to just come out of the walls, come out of the ground, almost by command of the dragon, just seeping into the room, creating a 20-foot radius circle of cold fog. Colder than the outside temperatures that you'd faced on your way here. You now each need to make another constitution save against the cold.
Here we go.
just a normal one, yeah.
Just a normal
Yep.
constitution save.
That's slow as shit. I'm gonna freeze to death.
Yeah, bomb. Okay. So as you're trying to hold off the cold from taking effect on you, both Barrack and A-bomb managed to shrug off the cold, only taking 5 points of damage from the intense cold, while Carrick, not expecting it, takes 10 points of damage from the cold.
There's a third of
As-
my health gone.
As you start to feel the frostbite and the chill freeze your skin closest to the outside that's most exposed. And now it would be Carrick's turn. The lair action is over. And that is
Let me
a
get this
chance
straight.
of happening every
dragon-
single turn.
Right. The dragon has a turn. His lair has a chance of having a turn, but the dragon gets nearly 2 turns because he's got magic.
The dragon
Yes.
is a legendary creature. So he
Yes.
gets every single
Just so I
turn.
know.
The dragon can act 3 times on 3 other people's turns to do something, like fly away. On initiative 20, every single turn, if the dragon can see a spot and wills it, an effect can take place in that area. So he's glanced down at the ground and made this giant fog cloud that's super cold appear right on top of you as he flees the route to escape further into the
Where's he
cave.
gonna go? Sure, it's a dead end cave, is it not?
Yes, escape further into the cave where all his valuables
Oh.
are kept.
Wait a minute, why am I on 12 health?
Because
How
you'd
did I
already
lose?
got damaged earlier
What?
from falling over, and then you took another 10.
10?
Yes, 10 from the cold, McCoy.
No, yes, I know I took another 10. I thought you said 10 from falling over.
You took 7
No,
from falling over and 10
7,
from
and
the
then you
cold.
took. So you've took 17 damage since it
Yes,
started.
that's why you're on 12. You do have a healing potion, remember?
No, I
Okay.
don't.
You're the only one that has one.
I'm pretty sure I used that
Oh, in the other cave?
to save my life.
Then you might
Yes,
need to hide
I
and
used one. I
rest.
don't know if I. Well, I don't know if I had two or one, or did you deduct one? Because I haven't.
Yeah, I did it in the other cave.
Well, okay, so I
Forgot
do
you
have
used it
one.
in the other cave.
Right, I do have one. Right. Cause I'm under this thing's ass, probably just gonna have to shoot it.
Still at disadvantage, because you're shooting through a fog of cloud and hitting a flying target.
How thick is this fog?
Almost
Well,
unseeable through.
It doesn't really matter about the fog realistically because you would have been hit. in
You've got a
'cause it's
disadvantage
flying.
double, so you would need advantage twice to level it out. So just shoot with your disadvantage and try and hit.
Oh, I
That
don't
is
know.
a hit. Roll your damage.
Oh, and yes, you've Hunter's Mark on it as well.
It's your extra d6.
But well, I mean, two.
Eh,
Every
all
little
the-
helps.
Every little bit of damage helps.
What I
So
wouldn't do for a 6.
as this fog of cold starts to settle across the area and build up, obscuring your vision, you see a small blur, a darker patch in the clouds that starts to move away. Try your best to aim for it, and you just hear a coming from the other side of the cloud up in the air, which must mean you gotta hit somewhere into the back of the dragon. Like, its rear, like probably its tail, back legs, somewhere like that.
Right, if I stay in here, am I gonna take even more damage?
If you end your turn in it, yes.
Yeet. Would you agree that that is outside?
Yeah, if you like go in there, wiggle your way into the little gap, then you would be out of the cold.
Because if I stay in here another turn, I'm dead. And it's
Depends
that
how much it hurts you the next turn.
which will be a lot because my Constitution saving throws are not great.
You only need to get a 10. So it's not that hard to beat.
I know it's 50-50, Andrew, and that probability is
Eh,
Well, your constitution is +2, so it's better than 50-50.
okay. So it's I'll not argue about
But just
maths,
what
I'm
else
too
are you
tired.
doing?
Just move out and drink the healing potion.
Well, you
but you didn't have the healing.
you only had the one which you used in the last cave. That's the last one you had.
And it is definitely well. I don't I see. I'm confused here. Did I have 2 in that cave or did I
You
only
had
have
the
1?
one in that cave, which you
Well, then
used to
delete
save
it out of my
yourself.
inventory then.
It is out of your
That's
inventory.
brilliant.
That's why
Just
I was saying, like, you only had the one. Is there nothing else you'd
Right.
like to do?
I'm just going through my inventory. I don't really have anything else useful. Other than days of wood, may as well
Chuck
just
wood
start
at
a
it.
wee fire. Chuck wood at it, or don't know. No, I've nothing else to do.
Okay. And you'll
Chuck
go
a
to,
stick at it. Take
to
that, dragon.
your allies' turn.
Oh god.
As they start trying to move up, the crossman sees the fog of cloud go up and he's like, oh fuck! Where'd they go? And he starts running out. Makes his dexterity save, passes, and continues on without falling on his ass to the edge of the cloud. Nathan also passes
what?
his save and makes his way up to the edge of the cloud, shouting in, "Where are you? Where's the beast?" Waiting for a response. But while they wait, the voice of the dragon booms out loud in the tunnel. "You pathetic worms! You think you can come into my lair, my
Nope.
home, and take what belongs to me?
Yes.
You can come and try while I'm here. We will see how you fare, and I will pick my belongings from your cold, dead corpses and display them as trophies in my hallway." And the voice begins to slowly echo out as it flies as far as it can, disappearing long out of your sight. So, we will, for now, drop out of the initiative order while you decide what you want to do.
Get the fuck out of this fucking mist.
Okay. So, Air-Bomb, also, these guys would probably back up. Get the fuck out of there. And let you get out.
Where's
Mist.
Dark? Dark!
What the hell do you want?
Where are you?
Beside a dwarf, frozen in time. Could literally lick him.
The fog
You think-
shows no sign of disappearing.
You need to get out of there. Move towards my voice.
It's gonna take me a whole turn.
No,
I-
you would just need to make your dexterity save to run your way out.
Right.
If you don't fall on your ass, you'll get out without taking damage. If you fall on your ass, you'll like skid, slow down enough to take the damage
Well,
of the fall.
assuming I do go back, what then?
It's up to you to decide.
Rest.
Can I not rest here?
It would probably be pretty uncomfortable.
Right. Right, okay. Dexterity saving throw.
Okay, so
Okay.
you manage to keep your feet as you sprint your
Well, I
way
was gonna
through the fog. What were you
Yeah,
gonna do?
okay. I was gonna do a skid, but no, I'm
Oh,
gonna
You
regret
could
that.
do the sprint and then skid your way out the last bit, sliding elegantly and getting back up to your feet as you slowly walk out of the fog. Quite impressively.
Yes. Get wrecked, nerds. Go over here.
I'm
and go to
assuming
sleep.
this fires out under.
Yeah, it's just like a little fire pit used by
Okay.
the kobolds. But there's no
I'm
flames.
going to use one of my Des wood
To light up the fire.
to light up a fire.
Okay. It's not too hard to do
Uh,
when you've got your
yeah.
flint and steel. Though you do start to see, as you're leaving the fog, you do hear a large scraping sound echoing through the tunnel. Almost as stone on stone or ice cracking against ice, and the fog does start to disappear.
Okay, good. I'm assuming these bays are fricked.
Yes. They're completely frozen through.
Assume we can't just like put them beside the fire and.
You could make a medicine check.
I will just because my character was interested, just in case I get turned into a popsicle.
From what you can tell, it looks like these two have probably not survived the ordeal of being frozen solid.
I
Okay.
would like to think.
There is a chance they can survive, but you need to be very quick to defrost them. Very, very
Right.
quick.
Alright, well, I suppose all we can do is sit around the fire and regather our strength before pushing further into the cave. So, I suppose everyone got pretty hurt, so I mean the dragon can only really come out one way that we know of, so
Uh,
we shouldn't really need to keep a watch. That well, we'll all be sort of watching and looking in that direction anyway.
Flash forward 15 minutes to where he comes around the corner, sees all of us in one area, and we all get turned into pumpkin.
Well, at least it would all look really good.
It would look brilliant, yeah.
Like it would be really convenient because this is like a wee indent, so this would just all freeze up and then would join the Museum of Icicles.
That would be pretty funny.
That we've
honestly.
kind of ruined, but yeah.
Yeah, you just have to refreeze it over. It's not that hard.
And some other poor soul will come along and be like, "Oh, look, let's dig into them guys and steal their gear."
Re-steal what you'd already stolen from the dead.
Yep.
So you're gonna do your best to get a good rest up against the fire.
Yep, get a good rest and use my. Gonna use my two. Actually, wait. Can I?
You've two left.
I have two. I have a D10 and a D8, don't I?
Yep.
Yeah, so I'll use both of those. So there's the D10,
4.
there's the D8.
Total of 10.
That's not terrible.
Not too bad. Why didn't that add on? Oh, it did. Which of
What do
your...
I have?
You also have 2d8s and 2d10s. Ebom currently has none left since he already used all of his.
What is the shape of A-bomb at the moment? Does he look to be below?
Almost exactly half, pretty much. So that's your 2d10s.
Andrew, remind me the next time we do this not to roll d20s because I'm not going to call bullshit on them anymore. I'm going to call bullshit on the smaller dice.
Okay. So are you gonna heal any more? You're at 21 of 29.
I'm going to do a d8. There we go.
Eight.
Finally.
Back
An
to
8
full
out of
health.
an 8. I have never got an 8 on an 8.
You probably have, just never noticed.
No, guarantee you, never got it. I've never done full damage with a bow, and that's my only d8.
You've
What do you
done
want?
full damage with your short bow a couple times before.
But that's a d6, Andrew.
Still, it's full damage.
Shut your hole and go away, Taylor.
What is the shape of Nathan and the
They-
other crossbowman?
They've healed up as best they can, patching themselves up.
You put that TV
Neither of them are
down.
looking super
what
great,
is-
but they're both better than they were.
What does Nathan suggest that we do now? Does he think we should follow the dragon in to continue the fight?
Well, we came here for a job. To steal its treasure and get back. But there mightn't be anything to get back to. And we haven't really stole that much. We probably need to kill it to get everything out of this cave that we can.
Right, so rest it up basically as best as we can. I'm gonna give Nathan one of my, or actually, I'm gonna give the crossbowman
A spark bomb.
a spark bomb. So then me and him have one each. So. Because they seem to be quite effective against the dragon. I wish I had about, 20 more of these, but.
So what are you going to do next?
Well, sort of make a somewhat of a game plan. More than likely, this dragon's gonna be. My guess is gonna be positioned in the left-hand side of its lair, sitting up on that higher area of ice waiting on us. So, sort of, the plan is to enter, use the spark bombs to try to damage it as much as possible, either by throwing them at the roof and getting stuff to fall on it, or just throwing it directly. Question:
Yes.
does it make any difference? Like, does throwing stuff at the roof?
The roof is 3d6 if the spikes hit it. And the bomb is 2d6 itself if you hit it with the bomb.
Okay. So does it just roll dexterity to dodge?
Yeah, it rolls pretty much the same thing to reduce the damage either way.
Okay.
So you've pretty much got an extra d6 if you chuck it for the roof. Which is
Okay.
quite high, which is why you're rolling for it. In case you
Yeah.
don't hit it.
Okay. Right. Well, plan is just pin it down. Try to not group up and get frozen. I think we should try to push on as quickly as possible because we don't really know the effects of whatever that potion is, and we don't want it to wear off if it's did anything bad to it. So we shall just, assuming, can we basically just push round to the entrance of its lair?
You can, but before you go there, roll perception.
Boom.
And
I
for
see
Carrick,
Huh?
perception.
Okay.
A-bomb does not do well either. Okay, as they're sitting, getting your plan formulated of what to do next, and preparing yourselves for the fight that may be ahead, you start to hear a cracking noise, the cracking and splintering of ice. And you look up just in time to see a couple of the smaller shards of icicles dropping from the ceiling, and then the bigger ones start to drop and fall down towards you. And you'll need
Shit.
to make
Ah!
dexterity saves to dive out of the way, to try and avoid being hit by large dropping icicles. Oh, very nice. Very nice.
'Tis but a spoke.
Dexterity. Very nice for everybody.
Also, I'm pretty sure you've told me this before, but we have 29, which is the health number. What's the other green and blue ones for?
The blue one is the roll I need to hit you. The green one's your max, the red one's what you're at.
Oh.
So, as everybody's looked up and went, oh shit, and starts diving out of the way, all of these, like pretty much that entire little room of icicles on the roof just starts dropping everywhere. And most of you get through only suffering a couple of cuts and scratches. Though you see the guardsman, as he tries to dive out of the way, one of the large shards pierces through the back of his leg before shattering, and he crumples to the ground, barely getting himself back up. So Nathan, A-bomb, Carrick, and Barrick each take 5 points of damage as you barely scrape through being impaled by icicles. And the poor guard takes 10, almost being put down.
Good grief.
Hmm.
This is some insane damage.
I might take Might take that spark bomb back off him.
It's probably a good idea.
Yeah, I think I'll just hold on. I'll just take the spark bomb and take both of them.
Okay.
How many spark bombs do you have left, Carrick?
I think I don't have any left.
have
Hold
one.
on. Okay, I'm lucky.
You had two, and you already threw one.
Okay.
So what positioning and or order do you want to be as you start making your way towards further down the tunnel?
Is the crossbowman coming with us?
Oh yeah, he's just got a really bad bleeding leg, but he's determined to keep going.
Okay, we'll put him at the back,
Gets across
and
with the back.
then we'll put then Nathan and me at the front, and then Carrick and A-Bomb.
Do we want a smoke screen here or no?
If you put up the smoke screen, you would lose Hunter's Mark.
Oh shit. Right, okay. Oh, I'll do that then.
Because you have to concentrate on your spell to keep it going, and you can only do one at a time. So are you ready to enter the cave?
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Before you enter, we will, since it is a new
Roll
combat,
initiative.
yes, redo the initiative.
Redo
that was high.
initiative.
Air-bomb did well. And okay. So let's see. So we're gonna have for the group pretty much all the AI, including Air-bomb, go on an 18. So I'll just put all of those in one turn. Then Carrick. And then Barrick. You have no clue when the dragon is going just yet.
Oh, the dragon's definitely going first.
So,
Uh,
what do you want your 3 allies to do since they would be going first? Actually, I'll open up.
Probably
the tunnel.
probably get Nathan to I'm assuming Nathan's just human, basically.
Yeah, he's human. I will open the whole room, but show you the dragon when it comes into play.
oh god, there's a massive black block over us.
Yes, I'm trying to. It's really lagging for some reason. I'm like clicking and it's not revealing things. Here we go. Okay. So whenever you spot the dragon, I will put him in. So what do you want them to do?
We'll move Nathan up to maybe about like here. Move the crossbowman up to about here. Bomb will maybe like hold back a wee bit, like behind them, letting them advance first. Till we get a
Dexterity saves. Nathan is okay. Crossman, as he's running, well, hastily moving to get into position, you see him slip with his injured leg and fall and start sliding what's going to be straight out into the middle of the cave if he doesn't get up on his next turn.
Oh dear.
He rolled a 6. So he's injured and he is sliding out into the middle of the cave. And after your allies, it is now Carrick. Where do you want to go? What do you want to do?
I'm assuming we don't see any blood or anything on the ground.
No, just the blood from the crossbowman.
And none of that
Just blood
rusty
from
shit.
the crossbowman.
So what are you doing, Mackay? Just walking in?
It's realistically as far as I really want to go as an archer with low health.
Then make your dexterity save. Do not slip on your ass and slide through into the
Oh,
tunnel.
this is where.
Okay, you managed to
Okay.
keep your feet for now. And Beric, once you all get into the room, I'll
I
get you
just
to.
wanna
Yeah?
just wanna move up behind the crossbowman and advance with him.
Okay, that was like 15. Yeah.
Yeah.
So as you all start going into the room, make your perception checks. Okay. It's good so far.
Oh, where's my character sheet? Perception. Nope, see nothing.
And Eba. Okay.
God, that man is good at making perception.
Somehow
checks.
he is. He's very good. So, as you're all slowly, like hastily but slowly at the same time, getting your way in and beginning to look around, you don't see any sign of the dragon in your immediate view.
Hmm.
But then, Evom, who's currently behind you, you just hear him go, "Big Scaly!" Glance over your shoulder and you see him pointing up almost directly above you, latched onto the icicles and dropping down from the
We are
ceiling.
gonna die.
Dropping down from the
Hasn't
ceiling,
been-
the dragon, well, he's like straight above you. None of you thought to look directly up. It just drops down, literally right in front of you. And,
Oh, great.
yes, you have your, what save was this? Constitution saves to make. Though, whenever you make your saves, you will get some more information. Okay.
Da-da-da-da-da.
And Ebom. Okay.
Damn, that man can roll.
Seems as though he can. So as you're walking in and you just see the dragon slam down in front of you, cracking the ice, a snarl, like almost grin on its face as it leans back, and you see the blue light rise from its chest, going up its throat. You see a small flicker of like orangish red, and the bluish flames burst out, but they do not seem like as intense. The cold blasts over you. There doesn't seem to be as cold as you would have expected it to have been after you saw it completely obliterate the Paracrossman before. Definitely some sort of effect has took place with the breath weapon of the beast, and
Nice.
something has clearly happened. So let's see. So you needed 13 or higher to succeed.
Did the crossbowman
So the
succeed?
crosswoman did not.
Oh,
And
that's-
you see him like sliding forward towards the dragon into the blast of the ice as it's just like bringing its head from right to left, coating this entire opening, and the crossman just turns to ice and keeps sliding out across the room, just sliding out, and eventually just bumps off the wall at the end.
Shattering.
He's slowed down enough, just like kind of bumps and stops there. And each of you passed your save.
Do we still take damage?
You still take a bit. So for passing your save after I rolled really, really low on that, you take 6 damage.
Oh, damn.
So Not
I
super
would not
bad.
want you to have rolled well.
Yes, and you've got a feeling that the attack has been weakened.
Yes, it has been weakened. So,
It's
my God.
very, very much weakened. So, it's landed down, spewed forth a breath of cold flames. And then you see it look back and forth between each of you, and then beat its wings, lifting itself slightly up into the air, beginning to move this direction, but can't move that far. As it's slowly flying backwards, looking at you in its prideful room, looking around its room going, I assume you have already seen the glory of my chamber. Your eyes must be glued to the magnificence of the hoard I have collected. I see it in each of you. You want it for yourselves. But this is my
And we're gonna
hoard,
get it.
and your grubby little fingers shall not touch a single coin more. As he
At least
starts
we have
flapping
fingers
away.
enough.
And it is now your ally's turn. What would you like them to do?
Probably Ebon will probably. I'm assuming he's out of rage now.
Yes, he would need to re-rage.
So probably he rages and just, maybe as he charges forth in his rage, maybe tries to throw a harpoon up at the dragon.
How far do you want him to go?
From where he is now, probably. It's air bomb. Like, he doesn't make the smartest decision.
Run
So
straight
probably,
beneath it.
probably run straight at it.
Is
Straight
he
beneath it
raging
and
while he's doing this?
Die,
Yes.
big scaly!
Yes, and
If he wasn't, I don't
chucking
know.
for the underbelly with one of his harpoons, and you see it fly up and just clatter across the scales and fly back down onto the ice next to him, bouncing
God,
off
so
the hard scales.
15 is not even a hit. Oh god.
It's a dragon. Dragons have hard scales.
I know. I know.
What would you like Nathan to do?
Probably Nathan try to move, sticking to the wall, moving 15 feet up this way.
Hiding amongst the corpses of the
And then
kobolds.
just try to, yep, and then try to. Dragon's probably pissed. You dare defile my lair with this kobold rat. Then try to just. Basically, for the rest of combat, just get him to try to pelt arrows at the dragon.
Shoot at it. So you see him rush behind the corpses of the kobolds, slide to a stop, like down onto his knees, fire a shot from his bow, and he's like shooting for the neck area. As the dragon's head's moving, it just gets into a spot. Kind of like War Thunder, getting your armor into the ideal spot where it just bounces off. And you see the arrow like slide along its neck and just get shot off the side. Not far from hitting it, but very, very close to hitting it. And now we're at Carrick. What would you like to do?
Earth to Carrick.
Colin,
Yes.
it is your turn. What are you going to do?
Just real quick, flashback to last night.
Mm-hmm.
Do I know that Barrack has a sticky potion? I'm assuming no.
Unless he told you.
I don't think he did, so we will assume no. But I know what I would do with that. But I can't know what it is because it doesn't exist. So I will also. Wait, hang on.
We'll do this. Did you tell him you found a potion that your hand kind of stuck to?
No.
No,
Okay.
it definitely didn't. Definitely didn't. That's all right. I had a genius plan there. My plans are always ambitious and work maybe 40% of the time.
I'm actually
Who's my-
curious. What would you have actually did if you did
No,
know
no, you
about it?
never get to you never get to find out now. You'll learn at the end of combat whether we live or die. Um, I'm assuming it's impossible for me, Andrew, to slide 50 feet and then shoot.
If you used your, like, you're a level 2 rogue, so you can dash as a bonus action, so if you wanted to do your 60-foot dash, you could go up to 60 feet and still shoot. That's why you picked the level 2 on rogue.
Yes, that is excellent. I'd
Does he
rather
have
have
to
that.
make 2 dexterity saves then?
No, just the
Oh,
one
shit,
for
I know
moving
what.
more than 30. Or more than 15.
Time to
Or you
yeet.
could just give in to the slide and slide. Okay, so you make it
Yeet,
as you
yeet.
slide your way across. Like running, sliding, keeping on your feet. Whereabouts do you want to go to? Up to his
Probably
not very,
around.
not very large
here.
pile of gold. It has been looted.
I'm not really concerned about that. It's just my distance, really.
So what are
I
you
mean,
doing now?
if we're all gonna die in here, it'll be popsicle 1, popsicle 2, and
What are
maybe
you
popsicle
doing?
2 and 3 and 4. Going to shoot him, obviously.
Then roll your attack.
Here we go. High 19.
still
Poggers
flying.
to the longbow. And I get a mighty 3!
He's still flying, Macaulay. He's in the
Oh
air.
god. Still! Oh,
Yes.
right, okay.
Like, he's not going to sit in the ground like a Skyrim dragon and let you beat his ass to death. He's going to fly.
15.
He's not
15's
that
not a hit.
stupid.
But why?
Because he might be dumb for a dragon, but dragons are still smart. They're not just going to sit where they're weak and let people beat them to death. So,
That's
You're-
not a hit then.
you shoot for him, and you see your arrow fly out as his wings flap down, slide into like the leathery like membrane of his wings, and kind of get caught there, dangling in the hole that it made.
Dealing 6 damage to the air.
Yeah.
It would have dealt 6 damage to him, but it just got caught in the edge of his wing, which doesn't really hurt enough to do anything to the dragon itself. And now it is Beric.
Just a little bit baffled about.
Hmm.
We're in a small cave.
Small cave at the
Was he can't move
bottom.
that much?
Upper part of this cave could be 60 feet
I-
or more tall. Like, this is the dragon's lair that he flies
Oh,
about
okay,
all
60.
the time.
Oh shit.
This
That's
is
the
just-
question I need
60
to
feet.
ask.
This is just the
Um,
ground floor.
Can I see the roof?
With your lantern, you can about see the roof.
You have goggles.
Are you wearing the goggles? Like, using them?
No, they're in my backpack.
Okay. So the lantern light would reveal the icicles at the top of the roof, which is about 60
Okay.
feet up.
Ooh, can I even throw 60 feet?
If you chucked really hard, you could. Though a
Hmm,
throw like that would be a disadvantage because that's past the effective throwing range.
Okay. From what I have seen before,
Yes.
if I threw a spark bomb at this dragon, would it affect a bomb in where he is right now?
If you hit the dragon like lower down in its body, maybe. Like if you rolled bad, then it would. It would like hit the
Okay.
dragon, bounce off, and blow up in between.
Okay, I'm gonna try to move down 5 feet, and from there it's about, yeah. I'm gonna sort of shuffle around the wall here, and then I'm gonna pull out one of my spark bombs, yell Granada, and try to sort of throw the spark bomb above the dragon's wings. Hopefully, like the blast then will like push him to the ground. So, oh, thank God.
Yes, it's a very good throw. You're just like trying to do the bomb's damage, not hit the roof.
Yeah, just go for the bomb sandwich.
So you chuck your bomb up, and the dragon is trying to avoid the damage. Let's see how this goes. So you can see that the dragon, out of the corner of its eye, sees your bomb coming and swoops one of the wings you're trying to get at it, kind of hitting it like baseball, whacking the bomb so that when it explodes, it's just far enough from the dragon to not deal the full impact of the explosion. So you have your 2d6.
Dexterity?
Yeah, you need to roll your 2d6 for damage, and then I will apply what out of that is relevant to the dragon.
I just realized.
Yes.
Would I have had to roll disadvantage?
Not on that, because it's not like you're shooting at him, you're just chucking it near him to blow up. Like, normally,
Okay,
you don't even need to roll for the spark bomb. But because he's flying, or you're trying to hit icicles, which are really far away, that's why you're rolling. Just to make sure you don't roll a 1 and drop it at your feet, like
Alright,
yesterday.
did I not actually have to roll there at all?
You had to roll just to make sure you didn't get a 1 or something terrible
Okay.
like that.
So 2d6.
Yes, because normally with the spark bomb, it's just you chuck it, it lands close, and then the dragon has to dodge the damage. So you see, as he bats it away with his wing, it explodes, kind of shredding part of the leather where he batted it away. A bit of spattering of blood lands on the ground as this is quite a chunk of its leathery wing that has been torn out of the edge. And its eyes glare around at you, snarling as it's flapping its wings. And on the dragon's turn, you see it continue to slowly flap backwards and then come down to land on this larger platform that's about 15 foot up. It plants down. You see a couple of the smaller icicles above it drop down and shatter across the ground. Glances around the room. You are not even worthy for me to kill with my own claws. And behind Beric, you hear the slow of ice scraping on ice as the different colored patch of wall you had all noticed before does slowly sink down into the ground, and a group of awaiting kobolds that are behind the ice ready
They're
to...
just chilling in there this whole time.
There's some furs, some
Literally
little
chilling.
scraps of food, some sacks. The kobolds do look rather chilled. Like, there's icicles hanging off their noses. There's frost over them. They actually look almost
Just
like white
shitting in a
kobolds.
corner somewhere.
They don't look in
I
the best
would have
condition.
very much doubts on that archer's ability to fire an arrow if he's freezing.
I've got a feeling like these
shaking
kobolds
in a hand
might
trying
be
to aim.
suffering from frostbite, but the kobolds
I-
all start rushing out.
Pulls the string, snaps his fingers.
One
For the
rushing up to
master!
A-bomb, one to Beric, and the archer standing in the back.
Which means there's one beside me too.
You get a feeling that's probably what these sections are. And yeah, the kobold going for A-bomb. If it would roll my dice, come on. Okay, so it goes to stab out at A-bomb, but A-bomb, not even looking at the kobold, just grabs the spear and chucks it across the ground and glares at the kobold.
Do you roll that?
Oh fuck, I've rolled a 1 for him and a 1 going for Beric. So this one, like, coming up at you with like some makeshift stone axe, tries to swing for you, but you see the head of his axe just fly off as he goes for the backswing. Brings it forward, just kind of hits you with a short stick. Going, eh? Clearly feared. Oh, for fuck's sake.
You know that's good when Anders
Tell me you
swears.
did not just roll 3 1s.
No, I've rolled a 9 and 2 1s.
Oh,
The archer's one that got the 9. But you see the arrow whiz out in Nathan's direction. Like, none of these fuckers hit. They were actually meant to do something before they died, but they're all gonna die without doing anything now. But the arrow flies out towards Nathan and just kind of drops short and clatters across the ice. This specific group of kobolds must be suffering from frostbite.
Could he not have like lost his fingers as soon as he pulled the string?
Oh, he
No,
didn't
it
roll a
wasn't that
1.
bad.
If he'd rolled a 1, he probably would have. But the kobolds all are doing that, and roll perception, just the both of you, to see if you notice what else is going to be happening here.
Perception. Nope.
Okay, so Carrick, since you're not being engaged, you would see that while the kobolds are rushing out to engage, you do see an ice wall starting to rise up from this platform, going to conceal the dragon behind it as it's ordering these kobolds to attack. So it has not fully formed. So it is now your ally's turn. I'm guessing Ebom.
This dragon has got some magical powers and home
Can
decorating skills.
Ebom,
I'll give him that.
Oh, Ebom's not gonna do much of anything.
Ebom tries to smash the kobold. Actually, we'll say he reckless attacks the kobold, will we? Just to give him another shot.
Yeah.
Rolls a 2. Ah.
He smashes the kobold. His bonus to damage while raging would be +5. So that would have been a 10.
Which is the kobold?
So
Oh, good God.
his
That's
minimum damage while raging is a 6, and the kobold has 6 health. And like Ebom
Turns
just,
him into a puddle.
after pulling its spear away, just looks at it and just backhands it. Doesn't even use his mod, just backhands the kobold, knocking it flying across the room and slamming into the ice where it slumps in a pile. What shall Nathan do?
Take a shot at the dragon.
Oh, the dragon.
That's literally all he's gonna do.
So as you see Nathan shooting out, going, "You're not gonna hide, bastard!" Fired his arrow. It looks like it's gonna hit, but the ice wall slowly building up around him just gets high enough to catch the arrow before it reaches the dragon. And I see the arrow just frozen inside the ice as it's slowly forming up around him.
Damn it.
Next, it would be Carrick.
Operation Yeet!
What
Right,
are you
so
eating?
Dragon still here?
Yes, he is currently landed while this wall forms around him.
Ooh, that's sort of like through his Jacob's shoulder.
You can do that if you want your sharpshooter. They don't benefit from cover. If there's even the smallest gap, you could shoot through while they're fighting. Like, you could shoot between Barrick's legs and still hit the kobold.
However,
Hunter's mark. Hunter's mark.
Yeah, it is on the dragon.
can I move it and then move it back?
No.
No,
target would need to
dragon,
die.
The dragon would have to die before it could
Or you
move
would
or
have to
something like that.
recast it,
Yeah, which would be silly.
which would be your last spell.
Shoot Don Finian.
Roll your attack.
Don't have to roll to.
I roll your damage.
Finally! Been waiting 20 years for a crit.
You've crit quite a lot. So,
I've rolled 3 ones last night, and I got 1 crit in return. Finally,
Well,
I
the
get
damage
one.
would be good.
just roll it.
Why is this not rolling?
And
Oh, that's
your
good.
d6 for Hunter's Mark. Okay, so that's
Brilliant. Another 2!
16.
Finally, some half decent damage. Jesus.
That is some good damage.
Okay.
The
So,
dragon will be
as you
pissed.
see this wall starting to form up, where are you aiming since this is a critical hit? What are you
Right up his
specifically?
nostril.
You're shooting for his nose. Okay.
Yeah.
So, as you see the wall forming up and the dragon looking over at the kobolds as they start to rush out, you take aim with your bow, steady your breathing, and loose your arrow. It flies true, going straight for the dragon, as you see, like, almost slow motion, the dragon looking your direction, almost hearing the arrow coming. And just before the ice wall can rise up into place, your arrow, like, skims over top, catching some of the ice as it goes, and, like, a nice little spray of, like, explosion of ice. Flies through, catches the dragon on just like the edge of its nostril on the left side, sliding up the side of its nose and leaving, you can see, like, cutting through the thinner, smaller scales that are on the face, slicing its way through some of the scales as it slides right up the side of the nose, up the side of, like, the cheekbone and face, straight over the eye and ricocheting off into the ceiling as blood just starts pouring down its face. With an enraged scream of, "My eye! You bastard elf! You will suffer more than anyone has suffered in this damnable universe, you pathetic worm! I will have your head!"
Operation Yeet.
The amount of, like, the whole left side of this dragon's face, from eye to nose, is now bleeding, just blood running down it, almost as though the scales themselves are red.
Excellent. Means we
Just
can crack him.
Just the blood splatting over the ice as it
You can see, like,
raises up.
as the blood's, like, getting down to its lower jaw and starting to drip off, it's freezing and then shattering across the ground.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes, as in the dragon's anger, the blood itself is beginning to freeze as it drips from its body. You still have your movement and bonus action if you'd like to do something. Or is that all you would like to do?
I don't really know what else I can do. I would like to throw a spark bomb, but that probably is a main
That would be
action.
your main action, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, that's about it for me, really.
Okay. It is now Beric. You did not get to watch the spectacular feat, but you've heard the effects that it caused.
Okay. Do I do this or do I do the other thing? Do I get advantage on hitting this guy? Because
He
got
doesn't
no
have a weapon, so yeah, he can't really defend himself.
Yeah, well, I'll swing my longsword at him then.
Okay, that is a hit. And your damage, which he's unarmed, like, with his little stick, looking at it like, huh? You just bring your blade down, cutting straight through his arm as it drops to the ground. He lifts up his stub. Ah! 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 Then, as his mouth's open with the scream, you just slide your blade through, silencing the kobold as he
Nice.
drops to the ground.
I am getting bored of these.
Can I use my movement to engage the archer and then use my secondary? Yeah, well then I'll just push the archer as the other kobold falls to the ground. And swing my sword. Ooh, dodges.
A 10 would just barely miss the kobold archer as he goes for a duck out of the way, trying to narrowly miss the blade that would have probably took his head clean off.
Per frostbite boy.
He still wants to live. They're quite dexterous little shits. Would you like to try and do anything else?
Nope. I think that's my turn.
Okay.
What the
Language proficiency.
okay. Don't know how I clicked that, but okay.
Don't know how you click that, but yes. So, as you've cut down this kobold, went for the next one and barely missed him, you hear the cracking and shattering of ice as dragon spreads out its wings, shattering its own ice wall as it prepares to jump off the platform. Though you hear more scraping of ice, it's from the other direction. Another ice wall descends out of the way, and kobolds start pouring out from another little ice alcove into the rock, or into the ice. And you see the two of them. Well, one of them rushes for Nathan, one of them rushes for Carrick, and the archer tries to take a wee pot shot at Ebon. You can hear the dragon bellowing out, "Slay them, my minions, but keep them alive. I want to savor torturing them all later." The little kobold arrow comes flying towards Ebon, who is too mesmerized by the thought of possibly being able to kill this dragon. Gets struck in the side underneath the arm. You can see the arrow piercing deep, blood start to drip down. You see Nathan, as he's getting his bow ready for another shot, glance to his side as this kobold just barrels into him, not going for an attack, but just grabbing him, grappling him onto the ground, trying to hold him down. The second one rushes for Carrick, and you'll need to make a strength saving throw against the kobold, who's now trying to grapple you. I got a feeling kobolds aren't very strong, so... Though he rolled
Neither's
quite well.
Carrick.
Yes, but depends on the roll here. Both of them have negatives. So
Lol.
make your strength save against the kobold grappling you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this kobold seems to come out of nowhere. He just slides across the ground after failing his dexterity save and just grabs onto your legs, knocking you over onto your back, landing on top of him, trying to like hold you there and pin you to the ground. At this, the dragon flies out to the center of the room. You can hear the beating of the wings stirring up the air as it lands down in between. And as it lands, a tail lashes out in your direction for Carrick.
Brilliant.
The tail sweeping the ground, hitting both you and the kobold, which would batter you both up against this wall as it kicks you up into the air.
And break my spine.
Or like break the kobold.
Oh, the kobold is definitely dead from this attack. He can't survive. Like it's, yeah, the kobold. You just see the kobold just hit beside you, and the cracking of the bones in its body as you hit the kobold, and the kobold hits the ice. And you yourself take 8 points of damage from the impact of the tail and of the wall hitting you. Though the kobold is
How many?
no more. 8.
8.
Oh my god.
It is a dragon. It is very hard to kill.
I am gonna get fucking wrecked.
And you see, as it's whacked you with the tail,
10! I
it
had
takes
29.
another step or two closer Nathan's direction. It's like, I see this is one that you care for. I will
Lol,
make you suffer by killing your friends first. As you see the jaws go to clamp down onto Nathan as the kobold is doing his best to hold him there. That is definitely a hit, and this is not going to be pretty.
Oh dear. Is the kobold getting hit as well, or is he
Oh,
kind of just...
Like as you see, like you glance over hearing this, and you see like the kobolds are trying to restrain him, and Nathan punching the kobold in the face, trying to get it out of the way before he looks up as these jaws start to come down on him. And like you see them go to close as he kicks off the kobold to try and get out of the way. They clamp down across his side, lifting him up, and you see that the kobold has been grabbed by the arm as the dragon tosses its head side to side and just chucks the corpses, like the two limp bodies, in Ebom's direction. And Ebom needs to duck out of the way. Ebom gets slammed with the bodies, taking a bit of damage from the impact of them landing on him. But Ebom and the kobold flies over here because he's so light and he is dead. It's a dead kobold. Dragon killed it himself. As you've looked over and you see Nathan just slam against Ebom and fall to the ground, he puts a hand to the ground to try and push himself up, and then falls down and tries to push himself up again, looking over your direction, reaching out a hand, and then falling to the ground. Either unconscious or dead.
Poggers.
As the dragon whips around, laughing. I see I have stirred some pain and emotion in you. There is more to come where that came from, you whelp.
What is this, Dragon Emperor Palpatine? I can feel your anger, girl.
The dragon has been watching your approach of the different groups as he's been flying about. So, he's probably observed your conversations. It's very hard to spot a white dragon in the snow with your perception. There were a couple times, if you'd just rolled like one more higher, you would have beat his stealth and actually spotted him as he was watching you, like a couple days into your journey. And then when you meet Nathan, like that bit where you traveled between the two mountains with the blowing wind, that whole bit there, your perception was to spot him up on the side of the cliffs watching you, waiting for you to get closer before he struck, before he killed you all. That's also how you knew there was no tribute to be had when you finally reached the mountain. If only your perception was higher. You could have fought him early. But
And died.
probably, yeah. But the dragon's turn is over for now. And it is now Carrick. Oh, it's now your allies, which is Ebom. So what do you want Ebom to do?
I see.
Maybe. Does he have to stand his feet again?
Yeah, he would need to stand up with 15 feet of his movement. So he can run
let's
15
stand
feet.
up and maybe just throw another. How many harpoons does Ebom
What's
have?
only 14 foot
He
to
would have
20?
another 4.
Okay. Because Ebom is raging, he probably gets just straight up and just try to run and hit the dragon. So we'll do that. So
He'd
you'll
be
have
able to
make
like
a-
get to roughly where its head was as it released Nathan. And
Oh, get it.
with a
Oh,
barreling
that is not-
scream, "Rah!" He runs up wildly. Do you want to make him reckless attack?
Mm,
Evam is looking pretty bloodied.
how, how bloody? Like
You
real
would guess under a quarter.
bloody?
Cold
What is
damage.
reckless attack? Basically,
He gets
gives him
advantage,
another
but everything
chance
gets advantage on him.
just for this turn.
Just for like this round until it comes back to his turn again.
Well, that's not gonna be ahead of that, isn't it? Now
That's not a hit now. You need a 16 or higher.
we'll go for advantage.
Okay.
Come on, baby.
Oh, that is a hit. As Evam screams with anger after being hit by a flying body, and just runs up. Die, big scaly! Smacks it in the face on the right side, not the side where it is currently lost an eye, but hits it on the other side. As it just slams into its face, knocking it sideways, you see some spit fly out of its mouth and freeze and then shatter across the ground. That's now Carrick's turn. After you've been slammed against the rocks.
Am I on my feet?
You would need to take 15 movement to get to your feet, and then you've got another 15.
Hmm. 10 HP.
Yes. You're on the edge.
One fuck up, and I'm unconscious.
Yes.
There goes the ambitious plan then.
What is the ambitious plan?
The
might
ambitious
work.
plan was to run up onto the dragon's back and stab him where the scale is loose. I do not know where that is though.
That would
No
be
idea.
like
That's just a critical hit type.
roughly there. Like,
Could get on the dragon's back though. Might be the safest place for you right now.
what do you want to do?
If I do this and it doesn't work, I'm
Well,
dead.
there's the archer there as well to your left, but could be more kobolds arriving. We
Yeah,
don't know.
be.
kind of main
hard to tell.
priority here is this douchebag though. This guy here isn't capable of doing a lot of damage. This guy does like 10 damage to me every round.
If he
Well,
rolls that, he could roll more.
Yes.
maybe just try to get another arrow shot on them. Just aim. Be a bard and just aim for the.
Is he flying?
No, he's not.
No, he's landed right now.
Thank God.
In his anger, he landed to attack
Ah,
you both.
shit.
Let's see here. You would technically be on
Uh-oh.
his blind side, so give her a
Oh,
wee
yeah.
advantage there.
Where's my counter shit?
Since even if he does look for you, he has to look all the way around his body, or glance to the left. And if he glances to the left, he can't see anything. It's because he's blind. So,
Are you shitting
are
me?
you just gonna like get up and shoot him from where you are?
Yes.
You need to do your hunter's mark.
Okay, I'll
And I
put that
also
in.
reread the sneak attack, and it is melee and ranged, so air bomb's there, so you do get sneak attack.
You
That's
sure?
another d6, yes, I reread it,
Right.
because I saw someone doing it in a game, and discovered that actually
Two.
had worked.
Another.
Roll
another
20
ticket.
added it to your sheet wrong, so I went and changed it. So, the dragon, unable to see that you're there right now, and probably presuming that you died from the tail swipe, isn't aware of your presence, and you scramble your way up and fire into its like back region. Your arrow sliding along the scales before it finds a spot where it digs in under one of the scales, piercing into its hide as it lashes its tail, wings stretching in and out with the pain of the impact. Anything else you would like to do? You could still move 15 more feet.
If I move 15 feet though closer to him, it only makes it easier for him to kill me. I really don't know at this point.
Then we shall move on to Barrick.
Just move on.
What are you going to
Okay.
do?
Gonna beat this kobold archer into a bloody pulp, hopefully.
Yes. First attack.
Oh.
The shock of seeing what's happened to Nathan has put a shake in your hands. Can you get him with the second, or are you gonna do something else?
Oh yeah.
So, you're shaking, try to take the swing, and the kobold just sniggers and ducks out of your half-hearted blow. But then you look back at the body of Nathan, who his eyes still seem open, as you see the hand just stretch out to you and his mouth move slightly. And you're just like, "Rah!" Just take the head your sword goes through the kobold, hits the ice, cuts up, slice through the ice and out the other side as you see the head of the kobold just go flying off, like rolling. Like it would hit the wall and roll around and then shoot out into the tunnel from the impact of a strike that powerful.
Nice.
As the kobold's body just slumps onto the ground.
And then going to immediately leg it over to Nathan and see if he's still alive.
Okay. At the end of your turn, as you like slide to his side, you see the dragon rearing up in anger with its wings spread out as it beats them down in your direction, trying to push Airbalm in your direction to get him away. So keep going with your thing, and I will do my rolls for this. You see his eyes like slowly open and close as he looks up, like, my boy, you need to do it. Take down the beast. Save Medford.
It's okay.
He
We're
did.
gonna do it. You gotta hold in there. We're gonna be fine.
I'm assuming that's
He's-
a death saving throw.
No, this is for
No.
Airbalm. So he
Oh.
like reaches up, like with his hands are bloodied, but the blood is froze over his hands and tries to like reach for your face. Like, you must rebuild. The guild might have fallen. Rebuild. 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 As his eyes start to close.
No.
God damn it, Macaulay.
Fuck you, Macaulay, right? You gotta kill the fucking moment.
So as
God damn it.
as you see his eyes slowly start to close, you feel a rush of wind as Airbalm with his hands up in the air starts to slowly get pushed back from the dragon, sliding up to you, but holding on with like as best he can on the ice, and then slipping back as the beat of the wings pushes him your direction, and he falls back, like landing pretty much in between the two of you. Are you gonna try and do anything before he like completely falls and lands down on top of you?
Let it happen, lad. Let it happen.
What do you mean? Is he gonna land on top of me?
Of both you and Nathan, like probably crush you both under 300 pounds.
Can I pull me and Nathan out of the way?
Make a dexterity save to try and dodge the falling body of Airbalm.
I'm gonna be interested to see how you do this, Sander. Oh my, you lucky
Damn.
bastard.
So
It's not luck, it's pure fucking will.
as
and
you
anger.
see the hulking body of Airbalm slide your direction and then slip on the ice as he starts to fall, you wrap one of your arms around Nathan, getting you between Airbalm and him, and push off on the ice, trying to slide out of the way. Airbalm hits your back, but it's only like a glancing blow, which pushes you to the side, pulling Nathan with you, just barely managing to get out of the way as he just flaps back, cracking some of the ice under his own weight. He just would just barely get out of the way as he collapses down. Looking up,
Is
yeah?
Nathan unconscious now, or is he like?
Yeah, his eyes have closed over. You can see his chest moving, though very weakly.
Okay.
Doesn't look good so far. So as you then look up, after the dragon has crouched down again from forcing A-Bomb away. You hear the laugh rumble through its throat again. I see the pain in your eyes, young one. You cared for this man, and I took him from you. This is a
No.
treasure more valuable than gold. The one of pleasure. And you see the white blue light form up from its chest, down its throat, and a cone of cold, freezing wind and ice blasts the direction of you, Nathan, and A-Bomb. And you need to make your constitution save. And so does A-Bomb. And I'll do one for Nathan to see how bad it is for him, but it's not gonna look good. Oh, A-Bomb isn't looking. Oh, no.
Oh
I'm
shit.
trying to shield Nathan.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, damn. So, as the blast of cold comes in, you see A-Bomb trying to get up to his feet, raising a hand to kind of block his eyes from the shards of ice, and you see how slowly coat over with ice as he gets locked in place by the ice itself. Frozen there. You using your body to shield Nathan, you see bits of ice start to catch on his cloak, on his clothes, and start to creep across his body, but they don't fully cover him. You yourself take 16 points of cold damage from the frost breath. Though remember, you do still have your second wind.
Second wind, yeah.
Yes.
I would have used it already, but the fucking Cobalt Archer
Yes, the
screwed
Cobalt
me in
Archer's
the
got
first
you.
attack I did last round.
So, that is the dragon's first move. You then see after its blast shoots out, it then turns its head in the direction of Carrick, takes a step towards you.
Goodbye,
You
my
are
brother.
the insects that
Goodbye,
blinded
my
me.
friend.
You shall feel my wrath in this life and the next. As you see a giant claw just start coming down for you. And it just starts scraping the ice next to you, slowly inching closer and closer towards your head. And it scrapes through, catches you on your right side, rakes across your chest, tearing most of your leather armor from your body, dealing you 7 points of damage. As its claw then slams into the ice, shattering a large portion underneath the power of its strike.
3 HP in a dream, boys.
It's like Rocket League.
I'm gonna listen to Jason Blunt now.
It
Or
is,
James Blunt.
it would be A-Bomb and Nathan, but they're both currently
Bye, my lover.
frozen.
Bye,
Death
my
saving throw time. Okay. And it is now Carrick's turn. What are you gonna do?
Friggity frack.
This Cobalt Archer's getting an awful good show right now.
Yeah, he's just kind of sitting there not wanting to interfere with his master's plans since everything
Just
looks
imagine
under
he,
control.
he kills Carrick and then the dragon just kills him because he's
The kobold,
yes.
I rolled for the kobold. It is overcome with the fear of killing its master's quarry. So he's not doing anything right now. As if
My
he
God.
shot Carrick, he could have knocked you out, but he's just like, but my master wants to do that. I don't want to get eaten tomorrow. So he's just holding his ground, not doing anything for fear. But it is your
Right,
turn.
let's-
What does Carrick
Let's
to do?
analyze the situation here. I'm on 3 HP.
Yes.
Do not know what dragon is, and dragon is still fine. We are down 2
You-
men.
You would know the dragon is... It's bloodied. So I would say it's under a quarter health. from what you can see.
It's
Shit.
got a lot of health.
It
Yeah.
has a lot of health, yes. But you've got a feeling it probably healed a little bit while you were also healing.
Right, two options. One, lick the stamp. Two, be a pussy ass bitch and try and shoot him again.
Well, if you tried to shoot him, you'd be at disadvantage for being within melee range.
I'm within melee.
Yeah.
But I can disengage and then shoot.
You can.
No.
You can disengage with your bonus action and then shoot him.
Are you even really that good in melee?
No.
Not the
Absolutely
best, you're
terrible.
decent.
Less damage and a lower chance to hit. Literally, the only reason I'm in this
I
game
will
is to shoot
say
him.
though, you do have, looking at your inventory, another scroll. You don't know its effects, but you do have another scroll.
Dimension Door Scroll!
If you wanted to use it, you never know what it would do.
I will disengage from melee and then whip out. No, hang on. I've got to do our Arcana check.
You have to do an
Do
Arcana
you?
thing to read it. It's the same as rolling to hit, just to see if you can understand and read the scroll effect.
Arcana is +1, but the bow is +7.
So you don't know the number you need to hit to pass the spell.
Fuck you, Andrew.
Oh,
It's up
so
to
don't
you.
know what the spell does,
Yeah,
but,
no
you know.
shit.
It's always an option.
It
though.
could be
I
really good.
I
or
know
could
what it
be-
does, but you don't.
Of course you do.
And I know what would happen if you use it.
Right. If I move 15 feet this way, I don't
Yeah.
have to roll dexterity, but am I still in melee?
No. He only has a range of 10 feet with his tail and with his mouth. So if you're within 10
Right.
feet, he can still hit you. Normal melee for a person is 5. So you're gonna duck your way out of range.
Arcana!
Oh, you're actually gonna
No.
read it?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. So you start
Call
Reading-
something else.
reading down through the scroll.
Guide my magic
I didn't
power.
think you were actually gonna do that. Now I'm gonna have to go read the number that you need to
Ooh.
actually successfully cast it.
Please let it be 10.
I'm not sure what it is, but it's in here somewhere. Let's see. Scroll, scroll, scroll. Because this is a big thing. And if it works, it does have quite a good effect that might help you. Scrolls.
Dimension door. Send him down through the 7 hells with Gandalf.
Servant of the Secret Fire.
Why won't you tell me what you need to get? Stupid ass thing. Tell me what I need to know. Ah, there we go. This might be it. I do not see a specific number, so we will go with above 10. Since that's a good.
Okay.
So, as you're starting to read the scroll, you
Cannot read.
start to understand what it means and what this spell will do. And what you gather is that the Dimension Door scroll opens like a tear in reality itself for a short time
Oh,
that you
fuck.
can jump through and reappear through another small Terran reality in
I
a
get to
spot
choose where
in a spot that you can see or a spot that you know of or have been to and can visualize
I'm
within
I'm
1,000
not playing
feet.
D&D anymore. I'm playing Portal. I'm playing Portal the game.
And you can take one person that is your size or smaller with you.
Wait, so hang on. I could cast 2 holes in the floor to fall through, and then
You-
cast a hole in the roof for us both.
You make a little portal, and you can then
Yes.
step through that portal and take with you one creature that is your size or smaller. So it could be another person, it could be
There
a
you go.
You're
wolf.
gonna have
in
to
with
leave
me.
Leroy behind, lad.
No!
He's small enough that he would count as an item. It's just for like grabbing an actual physical person with you.
Aye. You're gonna have to leave him behind. Fuck him on the
Alright.
ground.
Our
So,
dragon's afraid of
you
mice.
You can then teleport to any spot within range, which is 500 feet, and you have to be able to see it or be able to visualize it in your mind by have been there before. So if you wanted to go to, say, the entrance of the cave, that's probably within
Fires of
500 feet.
Boom!
So you could then step through and appear there.
Or just
But
appear
it
on the dragon's
only
back.
happens on your turn. The portal closes at the end of your turn. So you need to
It's a
be
real
close
pure
enough
night
to
game.
grab somebody and pull them in into the portal. So
Isn't-
as you're reading it, like you would start to understand this. If you want, you can try and stop the reading of the spell to not use the scroll, or you can continue with it and use its effect.
Wait, what do you mean?
Like you
Like,
can
have
stop
have I successfully been able to activate it, or
if you
can I-
want to. But if you don't want to use that effect, now that you know what it is, you could try and stop so you don't, like when you do this, the scroll is going to disintegrate and disappear. And at the end of your turn, you either have to jump into this portal and reappear where you want, or the portal will disappear. So you can either keep going through with it, or stop before you finish the spell.
You're giving a man a lot of choice here, because if
I
do
am
this,
giving you choice, 'cause since you didn't know what it was, and it is a very useful ability.
if I do this, this is it. This guaranteed 100% will be me finished, and it will be up to solely Jacob to finish it.
You could save
Uh,
your ass if you finished casting it right now and went to the entrance. You could save yourself and leave everybody else for dead.
Andrew, that is cowardly, and we will never run.
Or you could try your best to cancel the spell, not finish reading it, and then on your next turn, rush to Beric, cast it, and pull him through with you and save both of you.
But I'll have to roll Arcana again.
You will. But
And
if
Arcana
you don't
is-
think you can win the fight, that is an option. So do you want to
Well,
keep using the
See,
spell or
that's what I'm
cancel it?
debating at this very moment in time, because Arcana never goes well for me.
Yes. Normally you would not have this option of cancelling the spell once you cast it, but since you don't know what it is, you'll have the chance after you read the first couple words and begin to realize, oh, that's what this does. Do I really want to do this right now?
Right, inventory check. And this might make up my mind. This might not.
There's not much you can do.
No.
We're on the edge of a knife here, of either winning or losing, death or success.
Ooh. It's all
The-
coming up Millhouse.
The next couple things you decide to do and how they play out could tip the balance.
Remember me, lads. We're gonna finish casting it.
Okay, where are you going to teleport to?
On its fucking back.
So you're gonna make the portal reappear right on top of it.
Right on top of him where his flipping scale is dislodged.
Okay,
On his
so you look over at the other two, give a nod, remember me,
me.
and you cast the spell. It turns to dust.
Other two, whatever. Just frozen there.
Yeah, they're conscious in a way. So well, Ebom is conscious in a way, so he might be able to understand what's going on. So you finish reading the spell. You see the writing turning to dust as you read and falling off the page, and the page catches light, bursts into like a blast of flame, disintegrates, and behind you, a small little purple tear in reality itself rips open. And like, what way are you gonna jump into it for more flavor?
How backwards that? You gotta do like a fucking.
What a backflip!
No, just backwards. You gotta do like a Star Lord, like where he just goes boom and then puts the fingers up and just jumps through.
That's brilliant and all, but I'm not very a magic person, so I have no idea what this.
So what way are you jumping through? Because this will affect how you land on the dragon coming out the other side.
It's behind me, is it?
Yeah, well, wherever you want it to appear.
Have it appear on the floor, lad, and then you just jump into the floor.
Yeah, we'll do that. Just on the floor and then jump into the floor.
And then you want it to reappear just above the dragon and you can drop down on top.
Yes, and I want my sword in my hand as I go through.
You'll be able to
Well, you're
like
gonna
swap
need
your
your-
weapons, but your action was to
You're gonna
read
need
it,
your dagger.
and your bonus action was to disengage. So that will be your
Alright,
whole
okay.
turn.
Woo!
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Kobold's just like. "Ah!"
So you drop through, and you drop. You just seem to disappear into the floor, kind of like that, like rowing the boat or going down
Really
the
wish I had
escalator,
that sticky potion right about now.
and you just drop down seemingly out of nowhere onto the back of the dragon, and you can see it going,
Maybe I'll
"Arr,
not feel it.
what is this
This is
elvish
fine, hello."
trickery?" As you disappear, and then it starts trying to glance around, trying to spot you on its back with its blind eye before trying to look the other way. It is now Beric's turn, though.
I am going to charge the dragon. I think I can do 15
would,
feet
yeah, you're
without
close.
having to. Now here's the question:
Action surge, your second one.
do I use action surge or do I use second wind? It all depends on how good the second wind would do, or the action surge, to be perfectly honest.
Okay, there's one thing you could do. Action surge is a bonus action and gives you a second action for an attack and another bonus action. So you could
So could I do 2 attacks and
you
second wind?
could run in, action surge, attack, and then that'll be your 2 actions, and then use the bonus action to second wind.
Oh, okay. If I can do that, yeah, I'll do that. So-
Okay. So I'll be using all of your abilities. You just scream out with pain, with heartbreak, the desire for revenge. So which one do you want to do first? Your attacks or...
Oh, we'll do the attacks first.
Okay, roll your first d20. This is on the blind side, so advantage. You can't see you coming. Just in case you get a 20, roll it again. Okay, so your first blade does dig in and get through some of the scales on its side. Roll your damage. And sneak attack, because Karaki is currently on top of it, straddling the dragon. Oh.
Yes. That's what we need. That's what I know.
And your second attack with
Lucky
advantage.
fuck.
That is a hit. Roll your damage. No sneak attack, since you've already done it once already.
And then the D10.
Yep, for your healing, which will be +2. Oh, so 3.
Game. Why would you do it to me? Why would you do it to me? Oh, no, don't put me to 3 health.
Oh, 9. Okay. So, next we will be moving on to the dragon, who is roaring out with pain as these slashes come in on its blinded side, screaming out, "I will kill you all, you worms! How dare you strike me!" screaming out with a
This is where
It's
it kills
fury.
all of us in one go.
you then see it like shaking its body as it uses its legendary action for the end of Beric's turn to start beating the wings again, flapping them with a fury, trying to knock Beric away and knock Carrick off. So you have
Constitution or
yes,
dexterity.
Constitution save. Well, Macaulay, you do Dexterity because you're on its back.
Why am I rolling this? Because it's trying to get.
It's trying to throw you off.
Excellent. He succeeds.
So, as the wings flap and it starts to beat itself up into the air, the force of the wings flapping like blast against both of you,
That was a 2.
forcing Beric backwards about 10 feet as you slide onto your back, around about roughly next to Nathan again. And as Carrick, you're trying to straddle it, stay on the dragon's back. As the wings flap up, one of the limbs from the wing catches you and knocks you off the back as you fall onto the ground. As it starts to take off,
Taking
just hold on, we will
how much damage?
get to the damage soon. As you see the dragon start flying up, blood still pouring from its face and dripping down onto the floor, shattering on the ground. It, flapping its wings, raising itself into the air, screaming out, "This is not the last you have heard of Frostheave. It shall be the name you hear before you die. I will return."
What did he just say? Frosty?
Frostheave.
Frostheave?
Heave, like you heave something really heavy. It's an old word that isn't used much.
Also, you know the way A-Bomb's got that thing when he goes to 0 HP
He
and he goes
is
back up
currently frozen over.
to 1? Okay.
Yes, he is still conscious. Frozen within the ice is his problem
Right.
right now.
Okay.
As he is locked there. If you glance over at this point, you see his eyes just kind of moving about like,
Moving about.
"Help me!" As he is locked in the ice, unable to break free. So, but dragon's flying up. "It will be the last name you hear before you die. The words whispered in your ears, your loved ones, fade into memory. And I descend upon your life and tear you from the world." As you see it start to flap its way towards the exit, the way you entered.
What a bitch.
And it yells out before
Thanks for the gold.
it starts leaving, "Minions! Deal with them!" As the last ice wall starts to descend down.
Goodbye, you. Goodbye, my lover.
From
Goodbye, my
the impact of falling and the beat of the wings, you both take 4 points of damage, which is enough to knock.
I am gone. Good luck.
Which is enough to
Barry.
knock Carrick on. You see the body of Carrick slump down, bang his head off the ice,
I'm on -1.
which then leaves you unconscious. You yourself, of it being knocked down, hit your own head, but you manage to regain your consciousness. As you see the beating of the dragon's wings start buffeting you as it soars out through the tunnel, screaming for the minions to finish you off.
Awesome.
And ice has disappeared as the last few minions start pouring out your direction
Rock a duck.
as far as they can go. And dexterities. Oh god. 6 and a 7.
Oh yeah.
So you see the kobolds probably unprepared for this as they start
They've been
sliding out.
for a while now.
Yeah, as they start sliding out. The two little archers like just trying to pop some arrows at you. But even on the ground, like being on the ground prone for ranged attacks, makes you harder to hit in comparison to melee, which makes you easier to hit. And you see the two arrows go flying straight over you as they struggle to hit this target lying on the ground, scattering across the ice and shattering into the different walls.
Whew.
As you can, I keep hearing the angry booming voice of the dragon, at this point beginning to shake the actual cave itself with rage.
Oh great, another cave is gonna collapse. What
No,
a dick.
it's just like the volume of anger in his voice is shaking the actual ice itself.
That's
As
okay.
you just hear the rage. You have not seen the last of me. My minions will keep you alive, or if you somehow make your way out of this death trap, I will find you, and I will deal unto you more than you could ever have
I will
imagined or
find you.
done to me. You've made a mistake in taking my eye. I will be back, and all you know and all you hold dear will be gone in ruin. As the voice echoes through the tunnel almost as loud as if the beast is still right next to you, gone from sight.
Yeah.
And it's now Alli's turn.
But they're all
Ebom.
dead.
Oh, Ebom is trying to break free from the ice. But you can see like there's some cracks in it, but Ebom is still like straining against the ice that's encased him. Nathan lying on the ground, you still see the shallow, rasping breath from his slowly rising and falling chest. Carrick lying across the way, unconscious. You need to make a death saving throw, Mackay.
Oh, God.
This is where I will roll a classic one. Which one? What am I rolling?
Just a death saving
a
throw, it's a
D20.
d20.
Oh, just a normal D20?
It's a normal d20.
Ah. Okay.
10 and above is good, anything below is bad.
Ha!
So you have 1 mark for death. If you get 3, you die. Okay, it's now Barrick's turn.
Good start.
And
Right, well,
this might be a good time to drink that, or no, is it the scroll? I think it's the
it's
scroll.
not yeah, it's a scroll.
I can't remember what the potion does. You're gonna have to look it up now.
The potion makes me.
Oh, it makes you smaller.
Yeah.
so-
Not that I know that, but totally. But,
You can always drink it and find out.
no, I'm good. I'm good.
So what are you gonna do? Surrounded by
right,
kobolds and a
both of
dragon
these-
slayer.
Are both of these on the ground?
They were both lying prone on the ground,
Right.
as they're now sliding your direction.
Gonna charge up. And I'm gonna just hopefully stab both of them and kill them
You do have advantage since they are prone.
on both hits.
Yes.
Okay, well,
They're
I'm
prone?
basically gonna do.
They're lying
the
down as
first
they're
one-
sliding on the
The
ice.
first one is gonna be towards the armored kobold, and the
Yes.
second one will be towards the speared kobold.
Roll the attacks. That is a hit. And this is the one on your left?
Yeah.
So you swing your blade in as the kobold is lying on the ground, struggling to get up as it's sliding your direction. And you just slam your blade down onto the ground as the kobold flies up to the lightning speed and its head just slides into the blade and sinks about an inch or two into the skull with the momentum of the kobold killing itself on the blade.
Nice.
And your second attack? That is also a hit. Oh,
Oh, that one. Oh, that's
as
really
this
good.
kobold's coming along, also sliding in the ground, you get ready for it to come and just do a perfect slice along the ice that takes its head off and sends its head spinning across the ground as the body, still squirting blood out everywhere, slides along on the ground towards Nathan.
As I
Victor
do
there.
this, I'm just gonna then kind of raise both swords up in the air, screaming in anger and pain for my loss, possibly intimidating the kobolds to flee.
Make an intimidation roll. There's only 2 kobolds left. Oh, that's gonna be hard to beat. Damn. Okay, it seems as though seeing, even as the last person seemingly left and killing 2 of their allies, and the dragonets, their master actually vacating the location of its lair, they're like, oh fuck, boys, let's fucking go. And they both seem to be more scared of you than the actual dragon itself at this moment.
Ah! Ah! Ah!
And you see they start to run. So the first one is dashing for the door. The second one trying to sprint around this direction, making their, let's see, their dexterity. First one passes. Second one fails. So this one too is closest to you. You see him trying to scrabble out of the little bit of ice and fall onto the ground. Feared, with shaking hands, they attempt to fire arrows at you. The one on the ground, you see him trying to shoot an arrow, shaking, and it just flies up into the ceiling above you. The second it's running away, pings out a shot, and you feel it hit off against your back, and a slight pierce in through the very edge of your armor that must have already been raked by the dragon itself. And you take 4 points of damage.
Oh! Oh!
He rolled a 2 plus 2.
Is that you out?
No, he's on 1.
No, I'm one health.
God damn it! I really wanted to play a song there.
No songs yet.
Yes.
But we now need Evan to try and
Evan
break
to try to
free.
I really hope he breaks free from this ice and just crushes this
Let's see. At this point, he would have broke free just barely. You see, like, his arm shatter out holding the maul. Part of it breaks down like half of his face, and shaking from the cold, he tries to chuck his maul as he's still partially frozen in the direction of the kobold for a big brain disadvantage to range attack. Ah, almost. He almost gets it, but just not enough. You see his maul slam into the rock, the ice wall behind the kobold. Bits of ice falling down, and the kobold starts scuttling away, trying to escape. Death saving throw for Carrick. As you're now bleeding out, injured on the floor.
D20.
That is a success. You're 1 for 1 right now. And now we're back to Barrack. As the 2 feared kobolds are getting ready to run.
I am gonna throw my throwing, or gonna throw my dagger at this one.
Okay.
First of all, before I do anything. So
Make the roll. That is a hit. That is a dead kobold.
and then turning around, then charge at this one, and then thrust the sword through its belly, pinning it.
With
Between-
advantage, he is prone.
Oh, even better.
Because he did fall. Oh!
Oh,
Okay, roll your damage. This is a very dead kobold.
that was not a very good
Go!
roll,
Yeah,
but I
that
mean,
was a pretty
you
bad
know,
roll. But what
but
are you doing to him?
oh, I'm just gonna run him through and just I'm gonna like leave the sword, like the sword just runs through his stomach and then into the ice, and I'm just gonna leave the sword there for a wee while and
Okay.
just immediately run to the aid, run to try to medical check Nathan.
Okay, so barely even looking, just out of the corner of your eye, you whip a dagger. Catch the first kobold in the neck as it's mid-run and slumps to the ground. The last one scrabbling backward, pushing itself up against the wall, its eyes wide with fear. As you slide the blade into its gut, start lifting it up a couple feet off the ground to eye level, and start forcing the blade in. You hear the cracking of its spine as the blood starts to spew out of its mouth, forcing the blade into the ice. As the kobold goes limp, blood just pouring from its stomach, from its mouth. As you leave the blade and run to start doing medical checks.
Yes.
So you're going to Nathan first.
Yeah.
As you get down to him and start trying to inspect him, his eyes open slightly again as he looks up to you. Is it done?
It fled, but it's okay. It's over. You gotta just hang in there.
You see him shake his head slightly. It's my time. Save the others.
No.
You must hunt down the beast. Find it. Finish it off. You just feel the last breath come out and freeze in the air as his breathing stops and his head just goes limp in your arms. Well, hold on. Back a bit. Before his last breath comes out, he's like,
He
find
did.
it, kill it, whatever. Then his hand just reaches up slightly to brush a bit of your messed up hair out of your face. Do it for me, my boy. And then
This is getting very
his
strange.
last breath leaves his body, and he goes limp.
No. Father. No. Do you hear me, dragon?
He's
You
long gone.
will pay for what you have done. I shall hunt you to the ends of the earth.
As your voice echoes through the tunnel, from echoing from far away, what seems to be probably at the entrance of the tunnel, the rumble of the dragon's voice comes. You have suffered great pain, young child. You can try to hunt me, try to pursue me, but you will only suffer more heartache, and I shall revel in the joy that I get from your suffering. I look forward to taking more from you that you hold dear. My treasure may be temporary, but when I slay you upon our next meeting, it will be mine yet again, along with the memories of your defeat and suffering. And then you hear a loud shattering crash echo through the cave from the direction of the entrance, and silence.
Right. Well, Airbomb's kind of freeing himself at this point.
Yeah,
isn't
you
he?
see him kind of pulling chunks of ice off his body, trying to get free. The only one that is unconscious and still alive is Carrick, who is another death saving throw to make as things have been going on. You're currently 1 for 1.
Well,
2 for 1.
you can.
It was just
well,
in case you rolled a 1, which would have been you dead.
And I will go over and try to stabilize with medicine.
I was this close away from playing James
Hey,
Blunt.
he's
I'm
stabilized.
You manage to pull out some of the rags, pull some stuff off the dead kobold, and start patching up his wounds. Patched up a big bloodied spot where he smashed his head onto the first the wall and then the ice floor. Patching up as best you can, and Carrick's vision starts to blur in and out as your eyes start to open. Seeing standing above you, much like upon your first, well, pretty much the first couple of days you'd known each other at the mine when you were knocked out in the skirmish outside the mine, and the first thing you saw when you opened your eyes was Barrick standing over you, covered in blood. The same sight is replicated here, just with the sparkling, glistening of the gems and jewels all about the cave. It's quite a marvelous sight. Seeing the rugged, battered, broken face of Barrick looking down at you with a deep, sad look in his eyes.
uh, my what happened?
The dragon's gone.
Ah, fuck. Were there only two left?
Is anyone gonna say anything? Because I don't really.
Everyone's just going, "Urgh, urgh, urgh."
Oh no.
You would hear this as he's like breaking ice that's like coated over his body.
I'm not gonna say anything more, and I'm just gonna go over and sit beside Nathan's body.
Okay.
The fat one still lives.
So-
I'm gonna need a breather.
As
need a
you're
breather.
starting to get up, you see
I'm
Barrick
getting up.
just,
I
like,
was bothered.
as you're getting up, you see Barrick just walk away and go and sit down next to the partially frozen over body of Nathan lying on the cold ice floor. What are you going to do?
Do not know because I'm trying to think how my character would respond here. I myself hate my father. I don't have a mother.
So, what are you
I
going to
won't.
do?
I'm sorry, Barrick. I will never be able to understand the relationship that you had with this man. He seemed like a good man. And that's it. That's all I really
Just
want to
get the gold, so we can
Okay.
get out of here.
say.
Right then. Is it-
Oh,
Is Nathan's eyes already closed, or is
Yeah, they've closed as the last breath left his body.
right? Suppose they get up. Is anyone afraid, or the characters kind of walk off at like?
Ebom's pretty much got most of his body free other than his legs at this point.
he'll manage.
I stand on my feet. See, Bomb's leg is stuck, so I like slide like my dagger. Or actually, I won't slide my dagger because my dagger's over in the throat of that kobold over there.
Yep.
Right. So I'll get up and pull my dagger out of like this cobalt, and then use this shitty rags to clean the filthy blood off it.
Yeah, it's not too hard to clean. And you're going to use it to help air bomb or?
Yeah, I'll use it to like sort of put it down like the side of like air bomb's leg or whatever to like break the ice open.
Okay. It's not too hard to do since you're not currently frozen and freezing. You manage to shatter the rest of the ice as he's breaking pieces off and get him free. He looks around. Where's the big scaly? I need to smash it.
He's gone.
It's kind of an upset look on Hebob's face. I really wanted to smash that thing.
You may still have a chance. But not today.
No, it's a bit. You don't always get the whale on your first time trying to harpoon it. Next time, we'll get it.
We should gather everything we can. Fill your bags up with gold. Maybe try to see if we can find anything edible.
Okay.
And get the hell out of here.
So do you want to start gathering everything you
Gotta
can?
retrieve my sword as well.
Yes. So what you would find looking over the cave is that upon leaving, the entrance was mostly collapsed. There's a few bits of like patches and holes that you can see that you could probably maybe stick like an arm or two through, but you definitely need to try and work your way out of the cave with whatever you can use to try and break through the ice to get out. But how much of the cave are you going to loot? It'll probably take a couple days to get everything in it completely free from the icy walls.
Well, we'll probably let me see. Depending on how much food we find.
You would be able
So,
to get the food off
food
the
would be-
falling guardsmen, who probably have like maybe 3 days each left at this point.
Okay. And then
And
Nathan probably
there's-
has 3 days too.
Yep, so it's like there's 3 crossbow, I think. And
Is
so
that
it's
4
12.
crossbowmen?
There was
Oh no, there was.
a
Yeah, there was
fourth one
3.
before, but he's the one that I got froze out on the icy slopes
Yeah,
outside.
yeah.
So you would have got 12 extra days of food on top of everything else you had. You'd probably be able to scrounge together some not great looking food that the kobolds were eating.
No, and touch their shitty food.
Don't touch their filth.
Yeah.
There's always the
so
frozen sea
we'll
beans you
take-
could eat. They've been
That is
frozen,
true.
so probably eat those.
Right, well, we'll separate the food between. So, did you say there's 12 food?
Yeah, 12 days total.
Uh,
So that would be
Right.
like 4 if you split it up evenly.
yeah. So, I'll take 4 rations then. Let's move to 6. Wait a minute.
Yes.
No. You must have did the exact same thing as what I did. Because I now have 6 potions of divination.
Oh,
Oh,
6 potions of what?
you were trying to like
Uh,
edit things at the same time.
yeah. So, yeah. So there's the food. I'll just do it. So 6.
I will do everybody else. Okay, so you have 6, everybody else is 5.
Yeah. So
5
we'll
days of food.
stay.
You could
s-
probably get. Let me see how much you'd maybe get from the saber tooths. You'd probably get enough food to feed yourselves for like 4 days off the 2 saber-tooths.
For how many days?
4, like
4.
for everybody.
Okay. And how many days do you think that it would take to get everything in the cave?
Um, upon
2,
like
3.
trying to like break things out, you get a feel that now that the dragon has pretty much left and vacated the area of this cave, the ice does seem weaker, not as dense and a lot more brittle like normal ice. So it'd
Okay.
probably take like 3 or 4 days to like get everything out and work out what all you have. Since this is like it's everywhere throughout this cave, you'd need to climb up on the ceiling, get some like ropes tied up to try and bash that
Well,
stuff out.
realistically, could we even carry
No.
4 days?
Oh,
worth
we'll have to see how
I'll
much.
require a cart.
We'll have to see how much you can carry. You might have to leave some and come back for it.
Okay, so right. Say for example, can we kind of like skip 3 days forward? Like if we sort of say that we've been here for 3 days, just
I'm just gonna like
excavating.
give you all the stuff that you would get for your days of looting,
All right, yeah.
and then
we'll
you just can
just
decide
we'll
what you
just,
want to do.
we'll
'Cause
just
there's-
stay
there's
here.
nothing else.
XP.
Nothing
We'll
can
stay
get in.
here for the 4 days then, and
We have
just,
enough wood.
I have. That says 5, but I think it should be 4.
It would be 4 now, yeah.
I have 3, so yes.
Um,
And then
Yeah.
Airbalm has 7,
Oh good god.
because he's the strong one. But in total,
I did that wrong.
you find let me write all this stuff down. What do you want to start at? Most expensive coin or least expensive coin?
I will do least expensive.
Okay, so as you're like making out little piles of the different things you find,
Assume we're
You-
on full health again.
yeah, you'll
Not
be
that
back
that
to full health.
matters.
You collect up a strangely low amount of copper, only about 500 copper coins, around 3,000 silver coins, and about
Holy.
850 gold pieces. And then you find some
Oh, we
coin.
found the other one.
You find some coins that at first you think are silver, but then at a closer look you see that they're different. They're actually platinum coins, and you get
Mm.
you get 65 platinum coins.
Oh,
What is the
Oh.
conversion rate on those bad boys?
One platinum is 10 gold,
Okay.
Oh.
So
and then
oh.
amongst
650 gold.
the rest of things you find, you get
Jewels.
a
and stuff.
total of 19 gems that I guess you would say are probably worth about 10 gold each. You find
Okay.
6 larger gems that are probably about 50 gold each. And then you find what looks to be a very large, pretty perfect looking pearl near it, like up on the large platform where the dragon would have been resting. That's probably worth about 100 gold if you find the right person to buy it.
Right, boys. We're gonna
This-
we're gonna
This
we're
is
gonna
what
retire.
this is actually a reduced dragon horde. Like I rolled for a normal like a normal young dragon, and then halved it because this isn't a normal young dragon; it's a weaker one. So I rolled like
Lol, weak.
1,700 gold, and that was low on the chart. So I halved it, and I've added in other items you'll get. So you're rich, but if you fought a stronger dragon, dear God, you could get like 40,000 gold from some of the big ones. It's ridiculous. So other things you find a lot of like tusks, ivory, different like parts of animals like that, like mammoth tusks, rhino horns, walrus tusks. And you've never really had stuff like that before to sell. But I'd guess you would guess the worth is probably around 200 gold if you were trying to buy it. Though obviously, like
Okay.
selling the gems and stuff like this, you won't get to the price you would buy it for.
Yeah.
You find a lot of furs and different skins from animals that the dragon must have slain and had the kobold skin them. One of them is a bear hide,
Ooh,
but there are
arrow.
furs that would be worth about 50 gold. There's also a lot of silverware, like you find knives and forks, plates, cups, pitchers, everything silver that you'd have for like cutlery in a house. There's probably enough of that for like 100 gold worth of silver items. So there's a lot of stuff. You're probably not going to be able to carry all of it back.
Right.
And there's a couple more things.
Oh god.
You find 2 potions of healing. Like there's a big chest, and when you finally get the chest pulled out and get it opened up, you find 2 potions of healing and 2 similar-looking potions that look larger. They're probably still potions of healing, though they might be a little bit better.
Ooh.
What the fuck was that, Mackay?
Uh, on the dice roll section,
Yeah.
D4 to D100, there's one called Fudge.
Fudge?
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Roll Fudge again. Oh, it must be 0.
Try to fudge a dice roll and get a 0. But there is like
Oh,
you've
hold
got
on, bro.
2 of these healing potions, 2 of these
40
larger looking healing potions, and then you find another blue looking potion, but you've got no clue what it is.
Hmm.
And yes.
This is where I just have to, empty my inventory of all the shit that I've been carrying.
Now, here is an important question. Do either of you want to see what Nathan has?
I do, yes. Saying that he was a father figure, so.
Okay. So, as they're like kind of preparing his body, I'm assuming for a burial, you start to take off his gear, leaving like his clothes, but as you lift his armor, it's like very dark, almost black, studded leather armor. You see now, you get a closer look at it, that there seems to be a lot of fine craftsmanship in it, and it almost resonates with some sort of power. So make an Arcana check on his armor.
We've got enchanted armor now? Oh god. Well, I'm not going to be wearing it. but-
Arcana check.
Nope.
So Carrick has no clue while he's watching this. Though from things he's said in the past and now holding it yourself, you feel as though this studded armor has been imbued with a slight magical force that increases the protection of a wearer by 1. So it is +1 studded armor. Not amazing, but it's good.
That's pretty. Yes.
Taking the rest of his items, you see that the blades, his daggers he was using, there's nothing fancy about them. They're just plain daggers for doing the dirty work. His bow is a similar bow to the one Carrick has, about the same level of craftsmanship. And upon taking his quiver of arrows, around the top, where you would like first put the arrows through, there's a lot of inscription around it. Roll some Arcana checks for that. Good. Are you gonna make an Arcana check, Guy?
Why the hell not? What's the second one for?
It's for a quiver of arrows. With okay, so as you
Yes!
see it, you've seen something like this before. This is a quiver that whenever arrows are placed in it, slowly over time, they take on a slight magical essence to make the arrows themselves magical for one shot.
I'm gonna need that.
So what that would do would be every day when you take a long rest, you roll a d4, and that many arrows in the quiver turn to magical arrows.
Nice.
But as soon as you shoot it, and it either misses or hits a target, it loses the magical effect.
What am I allowed to know what the benefit of the magic ability is? Is it like
It's just a +1 to hit and a +1 to damage.
ooh. Ooh, I like this. I
Yeah,
do like
might
this.
as well.
Even with
You can
both
have
of
the
these
armor.
items, he still did not stand a chance. He rolled so shit. It was very upsetting.
I might as well give the quiver to Garrick. And the studded armor, can I wear it and wear
You would have to pick the chest
breastplate?
piece or the studded armor.
Would I go down to 17 or would I stay at 18 with studded armor?
Let me think. You would. I would need to pull out my little book here.
It's kind of weird because I wouldn't have the dexterity bonus yet for studded armor, but it's already got a +1 and the rings give him a +1. So I'm assuming I would stay at the same, and if my dexterity went up to 18, then I would get another +1.
The studded armor and the breastplate would put you at the exact same.
Yeah. And then isn't that right? If my dexterity goes up, then
Yeah, you
I'll
would
get
need your
another one.
dexterity to go up by another 2 points to put it to a bonus of 4.
okay.
And then
yeah,
you would
yeah.
be at a 19.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I'll put the studded armor on then, and I'll
Okay, so-
put the chest plate in my backpack. God
Or-
damn it, though it
Or
weighs.
could share it to the not as armored members of the group.
Well, would it even fit a bomb? Or
Well, it would fit
Or-
Carrick the same as
Well,
it fitted you.
all right, well, Carrick, do you want this?
What studded
Chest.
armor?
No,
The
no,
breast
no.
no.
piece.
Fuck it, you're not having my father's studded armor.
This chest plate. Does this affect me in any other way,
No.
Andrew?
No.
It only gives you more armor. You're an idiot not to take it.
Yeah, it would be an idiot not to take it. Yeah, I'd want it.
Yes.
What is he wearing at the minute?
Studded.
No, I think you are. Yeah, you're
It would
wearing
only be a-
studded.
I think it would be a +1 then. It would be an extra 1 armor.
Yeah, it would put you up to 16 instead of 15.
Is there any like armor that's sort of stealthy but not ridiculous?
Basically what you're wearing now.
What I'm wearing.
This chest plate.
The best armor you can get that does not ruin your stealth is the breastplate. Though, if your dexterity is higher, then studded armor would technically be better, but your dexterity isn't high enough to make a difference.
How much higher would it need to be?
It would need to be up by. It would need to be like a 5, but you're a 3.
That's a big.
Which means you would need to have 3 more points put into your dexterity. Which would
Alright,
Oh,
be.
here's
you go-
here's the
You
question.
would need to
Did
be
we
like
level up?
level 8. You did level up. But we will do that after we work out all this sharing of loot.
Okay, Andrew, I'm just going to delete things that I don't want in my inventory.
That you're
'cause
gonna
I'm
leave
gonna
behind.
Yep. Crowbar, you're going. Pittance. Will I keep the pittance? Don't have a hammer anymore, so bye bye pittance. Shackles. I
Diamond?
don't think you actually weigh anything. Well, I'm
The
gonna say you
shackles,
probably
they probably weigh something.
Yeah, break that. Bye bye shackles. Saber-tooth fangs. We'll keep them, you know, just for the memories. I'm gonna. Yeah, I'll keep that pink gem in there. Keep the tinderbox. Grappling hook. Actually don't have that at the moment, but you know I'll get it on the way out. So yeah, we'll just keep that.
Um, um,
Uh,
I hate to be terribly rude here, but in this quiver that I have received, there are many arrows in it.
There's about maybe not. There's not that many. He's been shooting quite a lot this
Yes,
whole
so have
journey.
I, and I know I do not have 9 arrows left. It's probably more like 2.
Combined with like all of your arrows that you would be able to like gather and all of his arrows that are left, you'd probably be able to get to around about 10. We'll do 11. 11 total arrows.
It will suffice for now.
But you will probably need to get more.
Yes, no doubt. Get rid of the shit arrows, Andrew. Literally pointless. It's only dead weight.
They are pointless.
Anything else I can afford to lose? Still have Pret and Feathers apparently, but use them to make arrows, maybe.
would saying that we were gonna be here for a couple of days? Would I've used all my wood by now, Andrew? Because I only had 2 left.
Oh,
Well, you would be able to use yours if you want, yeah.
Yeah,
Andrew-
I'll use mine.
Yes.
am I allowed to do a second Arcana check on the Cobalt staff that I am carrying? Currently convinced that it is.
You can take
magic.
another look at it, yeah.
The bedroll is 7
God!
cards.
You are beginning to doubt yourself that it's magical, but it's still in the back of your mind. This must be magical.
Andrew, here's a question. My winter
Yes.
clothes, it says it weighs 12 pounds, but I'm technically wearing my winter clothes.
Swap it to 0. Because you would be wearing it. And you're not carrying it in your backpack, so you would be a bit lighter. Since the clothes you're wearing don't affect you super much.
Oh, I've got myself down to 58 pounds. Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's a lot. That's a lot of room for boy.
It is a lot of room for money, yes. Okay. So how are you planning to split up the loot? Because there's a lot of loot.
I don't really know.
I'm guessing split the healing potions evenly. Since
Probably.
there's a total of 4 different types of healing potions.
I don't really mind taking like a -1 if that is needed.
For
But I
like
would like to
carrying
know-
things.
Well, no, I mean like, is there 4?
There's 2 normal ones and then there's 2 better ones.
My preference would lie in a better one, but I will not be taking anything else.
Do you just want
Or the
one like good healing potion and then no normal one?
unless I just take it from Abom, who's got a lot of health. That's kind of a dick move.
Eva mightn't really know how to use the healing potions. I don't know if you would or not.
Okay, right, okay, you've convinced me. We will split them evenly then, so it's what, 4 between 2?
Yeah, so like
Good
one
one,
of
a bad one.
each.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Because Abom is very tanky. He's the least likely to need one, but he did get quite fucked up in the fighting.
What is this? What are you giving out now?
Splitting up the healing potions to see who's going to carry what.
Oh, okay. What did I get?
A potion of greater healing and a potion of healing.
Nice.
Moving all this.
Right, so now it's the... Okay, we'll throw the copper out, because fuck
want-
that.
Don't want the copper?
Nah, probably not.
Copper's all gone.
Right, go down the list, Andrew, from most or what we think most expensive is to least expensive.
Prioritize the
Do
most.
you want to do the coins first or items first?
Yeah, do the coins first.
65 platinum.
Or actually, separate divide all the coins by 3 and share it out equally among us.
Okay.
First.
21 platinum.
Okay, I'll
Actually, I'll
put that
give
in.
you 22 and then Ebon the 21. Because
Right, okay, I get 22. Oh, no, wait, did I keep
platinum's
that
the
in
one
wrong?
below gold.
Whoops. What's that one?
That's a different one that's worth 5 gold.
That. Oh, okay.
It's like a one that it's not really used much. It's like a really rare coin.
Oh,
Then
okay.
you want to split the gold in 3 as well.
Yeah.
That is 283.
Oh my god. 283 is.
Plus
So
217. You would be at exactly 500.
300. Is that?
Yes, because you're at 217.
Woo!
Don't
Oh
worry,
my!
if you go to a big settlement, you'll find lots of things to spend money on.
Nice.
Which you might have to. Medford could be completely
Holy
gone when
shit,
you
I'm on
return.
400 go. 450.
Yeah, it's a dragon's lair. This
And
thing
how
has
much
been
do-
ravaging
How
the
much
land.
silver?
And there's 3,000 silver coins.
3,000 to 1,000 each.
You've got a feeling that the dragon really liked things that looked like it, and silver's the closest coin to a dragon.
So, okay, 1,000.
Do you want all the silver?
Can we carry it?
It would weigh a lot, but you could, yeah.
I might take.
Oh, actually, Mackay, if you took the 1,000 silver, it would put you with your current stuff over encumbered.
What is the maximum?
120 is your weight.
I'm 0.4 over, I need to lose something.
I will take it and then maybe discard some of it depending on what else I want to take.
Okay.
Right.
Because A-bomb can carry a lot.
Wait
so...
a minute, Andrew.
Yes?
Wait a minute. There's a hooded lantern in my inventory, and I do not own a hooded
You
lantern
need to
anymore.
delete that. You're now not over encumbered.
Yes!
Look through your stuff and see if there's anything else you don't
I
want.
dare you. Now the hooded lantern will be added to me.
It is indeed.
But I'm carrying more gold than you.
You've got more copper and more silver, but not more gold.
Oh, frig, no, that's right, I spent most of mine.
You did spend
Wait a
a
minute.
lot of yours.
That's a lot of boats and hoes right there. 446 gold.
Yeah, combined
Basically
you,
retire on this.
like, you've got over 1,000 gold, adding up like all the currencies. If you wanted to like spend it on something.
Retirement.
Okay. So, that is all the money out of the way. Now we have the gems. There are a total of 19 gems that are probably worth
Oh,
about 10
Jesus.
gold each.
Start with the big ones. Start with the big
One
Most
gem
expensive
worth
first.
100 gold, which is a pearl.
Okay, how big is it?
The size of a pearl. So not very big.
Tiny. Literally tiny.
I'll. Hmm. Wonder how much room does A-bomb have? Could we literally just bail all the gems and pearls and everything onto A-bomb?
Let me find out.
If you do this, I'm gonna give you the look of sort of astonishment and
No. It's
confusion.
not. It's not that like A-bomb's
Holy
gonna like.
fuck, how much can he carry?
It's not that A-bomb's gonna like have it. It's just.
I suppose he has no value for these things, so.
Also, technically, a lot of this gold isn't ours. Some of it's going to the guild.
I'm not sure you
Do
understand
you
here that
really want to fight me on this right now? You really want to fight me in my grief? So I will.
what's our health at each one?
No, our health is full.
Oh, okay.
So A-bomb can carry like 240 pounds.
Holy crap!
So double.
Give him it all. Give him everything.
And
Give him
currently he is only at 139, so he's got 100 pounds he can carry.
He can't carry everything, surely.
Oh, he's a big guy. He's got a big backpack.
What have you given it? Have you given him nothing so far?
Nothing
And
yet.
he can carry 100 pounds.
So
Right,
we're
well,
gonna give
first
him
of
all
all,
the gems.
give him all. Give him the bear fur first that he can wear. You know, because he likes he really wanted something bear related. No, it's not teeth or anything. What he probably wants, but you know, at least it's something.
It's better than nothing.
Keep him warm. He can have a big bear cape now.
So bear fur. Put that up like right at the top.
And then give him all of the gems and the pearl,
Okay.
and then give him all the silverware.
It's a lot of stuff, my god. Okay. And then
What else? How much room has he got left?
trying to work out how much all that silver would cost.
Is there a lot of silverware?
Well, there's 100 gold worth of silverware. So let me just work out silver. So I'm just gonna go for like the raw silver. So that divided by 5. So there's like 20 pounds of silver shit. He's now at 171.
Right. Might drop that silverware, but we'll see. Right. Didn't you say there was ivory stuff?
Yeah, there's ivory and there's furs.
Okay, right. How does he carry the ivory exactly?
Tying it onto his bag, probably. Like tying
Okay.
fucking mammoth
We're
tusks
gonna need a lot of
and
rope.
elephant tusks across his back.
We have a lot of rope. Everyone's dead.
You know, like where you'd have like a bar across your back with a bucket on each side.
Yeah.
He's using like the tusks like that and dangling more things on it, tied up with
Oh.
ropes. So
Right, give him the ivory, and then I will take as many furs as I can carry, and then give him
Okay.
what's left.
let's see.
I should be able to carry quite a bit. I think I've got like 40 pounds, maybe of free space, possibly.
Okay, so you would probably need to take about 10 pounds of furs.
Okay, yeah, that's perfectly fine. Yeah, I'll take 10 pounds of furs.
And A-bomb is like almost completely maxed out. Right in that's probably worth like 20 gold. Just right, furs 20 gold.
Okay.
And A-bomb has the other 30 gold. There is the strange blue potion that you don't know what it is.
I'll take it. Saying, strange blue.
Do you want to taste it? See what it's like, maybe?
Yeah, why not? I've been,
So taking a wee sip of this weird blue potion. You kind of get a feeling like almost like a couple slits are opening along your neck and your throat before it vanishes.
just like quickly put my hand on my neck. Did that give me gills?
You are right. It's a potion of water breathing.
Sure, that will be very useful at one point when we fight an underwater demon of sorts.
Excellent.
I'll bring that up to where all your other potions are.
How much do you think the furs would weigh?
There'd be you'd need 10 pounds of furs. So put a 10 to the. That was the lantern.
Damn it! It's because you moved it.
There you go.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Trying to like slightly organize your inventories is best we can.
So is A-bomb taking everything?
The majority. But he's now like that's literally everything
Nice.
from the horde that you can chip your way out of the ice and collect.
He's a tank of a man. Right. Now we just have to
So
get the fuck out of the
so
mine.
while you've been like gathering all that stuff, you did discover that the entranceway was collapsed by the dragon and as it left, which was the mighty crash before the silence.
Okay.
Upon like through these couple of days, how have you been trying to clear out the entrance so you can leave?
We've probably been just sort of getting A-bomb to like, honestly, just sort of lift rocks out of the way to like higher up to like just or we could just try to blow it up with like
Spark bomb.
spark bombs.
You could. Got a couple left.
We'll say that like we've kind of dug like somewhat of a wee hole, sort of like the fuck we call it.
Sentry turret deployed. Frag grenade.
We'll say that we've sort of. Well, how long could we assume that we would have to try to like?
You would
like, I mean,
probably.
Is there any natural light that's coming through, or is it complete?
There's like a couple little gaps that light comes through now and again through the day.
Like near the top?
Near the top, yeah.
Probably like see if we could just sort of over the couple of days, we probably would have tried to roll some of the rocks, like
Like roll them from the top down.
yeah, just try to at least get a gap.
Yeah, so in the couple of days you've took looting and clearing it out as best you can, you've managed to shove the majority of giant rocks of ice and stone down, making most of a ramp you could climb up, and then a small gap at the top you'd be able to squeeze your way through before getting outside. Got a feeling that
Can A-bomb fit?
A-bomb can barely fit.
We'll take barely. We'll take.
But we've got a feeling that
I mean,
can
if he has
retrieve.
to take,
Yeah,
if he has to take the ivory off and pass it through this, like I mean.
yeah, that's pretty much what he'd have to do. Take his bag off, hand everything through, then put it all back on.
Yeah.
We've got a feeling though that for the rope, you like the initial like 100 foot of rope to get down the slope is mostly buried underneath the rubble. Your grappling hook is there on the other side. It's actually fine,
Oh,
but
it's fine.
the 100 foot of silk rope you used to get down the ramp at the beginning is
Can
trapped
I
under the rubble.
all 100 foot? Like I can't even.
You might
like,
be able to get like 10 or so foot on each side.
No, it'll be alright. I'll just like Karak, did he have normal rope or silk rope? I think he had silk rope, didn't he?
Yeah, he's all had silk rope.
We had fancy stuff because we bought fancy stuff.
So all his silk rope's gone too.
Yes.
I'm assuming can we retrieve though the other bit of rope that
Like there's the 150 foot of rope, like normal rope that the guards and the other guys in Nielsen had with them.
yeah, well I'll probably just take 50 foot of normal rope then, and then if Karak wants to take the other 50 foot, he can. Actually, wait. Yeah,
Do you want to take 50 each?
yeah.
Yes.
Or I can take all 100 if Karak doesn't want to carry it.
Go ahead.
Carrick. Hello. Yeah, I'll
He's
take
dead.
all.
So you're gonna take all the rope?
Yeah, I'll just take all the rope.
150 foot of rope. Beautiful.
Sorry, I was being interrupted by people's.
Do you
Well,
want any of this rope?
Yes.
How much rope is it?
There's
150 feet.
150 foot.
We'll take maybe 40 foot of it, maybe, or
Take
50
50
foot.
foot and you'll
Actually,
like.
you're really close being encumbered, Mackay.
Okay.
I
well,
don't know
I'll
if you
take any
could
rope.
carry more than a couple feet.
Wait a minute, this is already in my inventory. And I-
No.
Oh, bullshit.
Not.
Rip. Right, okay, that's fine. I've got
Uh,
10 foot of string. That's worth something.
Trying to put in. So the whole 150 foot of rope would put you as
wait a minute,
encumbered.
what is this string stuff I have? This 10 foot of string. Is that for like
It's
booby trap stuff?
if you
or-
wanted to make like a trap or something.
Does it even weigh anything? Doesn't even weigh anything.
You're like 7 pounds over. You could offload a little bit of the rope.
Just offload the backpack. Make total sense.
So if you got rid of the 50 foot and kept 100, you'd be good.
Yeah, that'd be fine. Yeah, just carry the 100 foot. I'll give 50 foot to Eva.
Yeah, he
'Cause I think
couldn't,
he used his
couldn't
rope
take it.
too.
He already has a bit of
Is
rope.
he?
Yeah. He can only have like the 50 he still has that he's got tied around everything. So there's 50 foot more rope left.
Okay.
Could carry 50 foot of rope? Maybe you could. Let me see.
Fashions power. See this coin pouch, right? It
Yeah.
says it weighs 0, but does it add weight in when I add
Ah,
money in?
we can just get rid of it. You don't need it.
Okay.
It was
You
just
have
a
a
thing
coin
that got
pouch?
added in.
I'm pretty sure I don't have one.
I'm
of
just
those.
I'm gonna delete it under
Oh, no, I do
superuser.
have one.
Oh, I almost did. Must delete it.
Let's get rid of the backpack though, because we'll just say you have a backpack. Just cleans the inventory a bit.
How do I
getting
delete
awfully
stuff?
Yes, you could take. There, if you take 125 feet of rope, A-bomb can take the last. Or no, Carrick can take the other 25. So you have everything. You're good.
Yeah, it's okay. That's fine.
Yeah, I'm down to 113 pounds.
And totally just get to the bottom. 3 days later.
So you are gonna travel your way down the mountains, across the snowy landscape, all the way to Medford.
Not actually to Madford. We'd probably travel to the guild first. I think.
To the map.
God, that is a long walk.
Wait a minute, let me zoom in here.
Oh God.
Yeah, the guild would be like, or the hideout. Would get to the hideout before we would get to anywhere else. Well, I suppose. Would it be quicker to go to the tin mine?
You'd
Technically.
We'd have to
Neil-
go this
You'd have
way.
have to go this way, and then this way, and then this way.
You'd have to go there. And
So
then
it's
you'd
like
have
pretty
to-
much 150 to the Tin Man, and like probably 175 to the hideout.
I would do the 175 then.
Okay.
No point going to the tin mine and then
It's
traveling.
175 divided by that. Working out how many days travel this would roughly be.
Would be like what? It's like 170 divided by 30.
Just a quick
Hold on.
question, Andrew. See that scroll that I used, the door one?
Dimension
Did you
door.
say it could go anywhere I could visualize?
Within 50 or within 500 feet.
It would take about 6 days, Andrew.
Okay.
Well, you
Well,
would
I've
get
worked it
slowed
out.
down by the snow and the forest. So I just hold on. I'm getting my thingy.
Well, how many miles did you
Okay.
think we could travel a day?
So at a normal pace, you can go 24 a day.
Oh, 24. Okay.
So pretty much 25. So without any impediment, it's 7 days to get to the hideout.
Do we have 7 days of food.
You have, like, whatever's in your inventory, that's the food you would have as you leave. Since you would have ate the saber tooths as you rested. But that's
Ooh, it's 6
unimpeded.
days.
It's unimpeded by snow and forest, so it'd probably be closer to like 10. Since
What,
you're
10
also
days?
since you're also carrying all this weight,
Do
that
we
would
have enough food?
I suppose
slow you down a bit.
can we like
Could always hunt
Can-
along the way.
can everyone kind of hunt? Can
You
we?
just can try and hunt when you like rest the night.
Okay, right.
So
Uh,
what we'll do just to make this fast is first
rolls down the mountain.
first
We all die on the way down. No.
it would take you like following pretty much the same path. It would take you like the 2 days to get down the mountain. Roll first 2 Constitution saves, just the 2d20s for
2 Constitution, just normal.
just normal Constitution saves.
What about me with
Firewood,
my
yeah,
mountainous
How much
abilities?
firewood is there left?
Airborne
know
has
Airborne
7
has that.
days, so I think
Okay,
you
yeah,
have enough.
that should be okay.
Just roll like straight up Constitution saves on the way down. No bonuses or anything, just the Constitution saves.
Mm.
Okay, so as you're climbing down the mountain, you've got a feeling that this is going to be a long, rough journey. Actually, need to do air bomb as well, because you're carrying a lot of weight. Like you're all pretty close to your maximum. That should not have been disadvantaged. Uh-oh. So as you get to the very bottom of the mountain, like right at the base, you see Airbomb's panting heavy and just drops to his knees.
Ah, shit.
It's like, forces himself back up, and you hear a pop as one of his legs goes out from under him, and he just drops back down onto like 3-point landing, like foot, knee, and hand, like going, my knee, So he's banging on his knee, trying to beat its dislocated knee joint back into place, as his knee popped under the weight. So Airbomb's not looking the best now you've got to the bottom, but he managed to, well, we'll make him do a very brutish medicine check. Okay, he takes his maul and he just fucking slams his knee and pops his like kneecap back into place and is ready to go.
What a warrior.
But you just get to the bottom and it's not looking super great, but the cold is being held off for now.
Okay.
So we will do another 3 Constitution saves to start with. So that'll put you at halfway through your entire journey, pretty much.
It's a lot of rolls.
So let's do them like one of you go 3, the next go 3. And
Okay,
do
I'll
Airborne.
go 3 first then.
Okay. Oh, So- as you're on your travels, you feel the cold, the deadly cold, slowly start to creep into your bones. As,
that halves my movement in the second day, doesn't it?
yes, so you would be getting slowed. Like at this point, you're
Then
getting,
I lose, then I recover on the third day.
you need to be in a state where you do really well. So with that kind of save, I would say you recover 1, so you're back at like
Yeah,
stage 1.
yeah.
So
That's what I mean.
I'm gonna do it to make it easy. Above 10, you pass. Below 10, you fail.
Yeah.
And then if you get a
Instead of a-
15 or higher, you like lose a layer.
Okay, yeah. That's fine.
So that puts you currently on 1 on
Yep.
day 5 of the journey.
Eric, roll 3 dice.
Roll a Constitution, yes.
Yes.
Yep, 3 dice.
So remember,
Saves,
If-
no.
just normal ones. So you're also on
Well, yeah,
one.
that's not okay. That's not too bad.
So
What,
if you
what does that mean?
It
you're
means that
suffering
you,
exhaustion,
yeah.
this is like the 3 days. The cold is slowly
So
pulling
on
into your
the second
bones.
day, we both suffered from movement,
So
and
you
then
are
on
slowed a bit.
the and then on the third, we kind of like recovered one, so our movement.
Oh dear.
Oh, so Abom
Ebom
takes.
kind of ended up the same way.
Well, Abom did not recover on the second day, and he's
yes, he did.
already
Oh.
suffered one from the second day at the base of the mountain.
Ooh.
So he has now hit 3, which puts him at. Well, actually, we'll make these saves from now on because if you suffer layer 1, normal checks are disadvantage, but level 3 is saves disadvantage. So make them saves from now on. So that will put Ebon back to 2 because he gets a higher save bonus. Okay. So it's
Whereabouts are we on the map?
so yous would have took like 2 days to get down the mountain, probably around in between these mountains here. Took like a day coming up and over, probably getting like just down around this area. A day across to this little hill, and then you would be getting slowed down a bit as you're tired and then recover. So you are
Right there.
about around here.
Okay.
Though for this first 5 days of the journey, who wants to be doing the majority of the hunting?
Probably Tarek, because he's got a bow.
And make a survival check to see if you have gathered,
Survival check.
hunted or gathered enough food to sustain the party.
Nope.
You get maybe a day or so, but it's hard to find food in the frozen wastes.
Could really use.
So that would then be minus 5 days of food plus.
Damn it!
-5? Oh god.
So that would
Just
put you
realized
to 2.
we should have lifted up the baby fucking. Oh no, it got carried off. I was gonna say
Baby
we
what?
should have lifted the baby saber too. It got
Lad,
frozen.
it's
Oh, the one
it's
that like
probably-
ate like when you were around this area last
Yeah.
time. But you're getting the feeling that
Oh,
you might
we
need to
got
take
2 days
you might need
rations
to
left.
take a full day or so to try and hunt to get food to make it back.
Okay. Well,
Ebom
I
also
want,
has 2 days of wood left
I want to make it over
to the woods.
this to the woods.
Okay,
So
so do 2 more Constitution saves.
oh god.
Here we go. Time to get right. Gentlemen, are we nearly finished? Just
We'll stop when
Yeah,
you get back to the hideout just to see if you
Okay.
survive or die on the journey back, because death is an option. So Constitution, so you're okay.
Loses
then-
one, then gets one again.
It needs to be 15 or higher to lose one.
Oh yeah, shit.
So you
Bloody
stay the
same.
same, lose one, so you're now slowed down.
Yeah. Oh dear, that's not good.
Then Barrack.
we gonna
Just roll 2,
die.
yeah.
Okay, so you lose one, back to 0. And then you get it back again. And then Air-bomb
Come on. Oh,
stays the same. Lose it.
oh, that's good, that's good.
So you've took another 2 days, and you're at like the 7-day mark, and have got your way into the woods. Around the area where you were probably attacked or stalked by the super
Yeah.
dudes.
I'm gonna, get a fire going, sort of wrap, cause Carrick's looking, sort of the worst out of all of us at the minute. Gonna leave him by the fire, maybe like take out my 10 pound of furs and like wrap it all around him to like
Keep 'em warm.
real warm. And then I'll take his bow and quiver out to try to hunt.
Is Carrick allowing this?
Well, I'm gonna be a popsicle, otherwise, so may it
Well,
serve you well.
I'll also get Airborne to like search the surrounding area for maybe, you know, I don't know, like
Gonna
mushrooms
pretty
or
much take a
bear.
day to hunt and forage.
Yeah, basically take a day.
Go air bomb. Oh, okay.
Nice.
Air bombed as well.
I do all right.
You're not. You don't do the
Not
best.
terrible. It's not great. You know,
Eh,
maybe
Like
maybe got a couple of
at this point, like
lavatory.
this is when your food supplies you brought with you
Are gone.
are gone. Like all of you
Yeah.
have ran out of food at this point, and out hunting for food, trying to get what you can. You get enough food for like 5 portions. So that would be 1 day's food for 3 of you, and then another 2 meals for 2 people. So you got 5 bits of food. Eba comes back with a lot of berries and stuff, but they're only berries. So he also has about 5 meals. So you've got 10 meals total. Which you,
How many meals total?
10 meals
Oh,
between the
that's
three
quite
people.
good. That's quite. That's decent enough.
But that does take a whole day. So I'll just write down a 10 here. So for the end of this day, roll your constitution saves. Do not freeze to death while you're out hunting and then camping
What about me?
You're not really traveling, so you'll get advantage on yours. Sitting next to the fire, wrapped up in warm blankets. Okay,
Even
so
still shit.
you stay. You don't get any worse. Airborne
Uh,
and Barrack.
uh,
Oh, Airborne comes back, but he doesn't look good.
Constitution save.
Save, yeah. Because I think you might get a bonus to your save. So you and Airbomb come back, but you don't look great. Frostbite's really setting in on the journey back through the forest. It's cold. It's really cold.
Yeah. Are we all at negative movement now?
Yes. So you would be slowed down quite a bit.
I suggest to the
40.
party that we should. How much food do we have for
There's
10
10 bits of
food?
food, which would be
So
3 days.
kind of 3 days? Yeah. I suggest that we
It would take you
move.
about just over 3 days to get there at your slower pace from the cold.
Okay, I say we just move.
You go
Like-
for it.
Yeah, just go for it.
Okay.
We'll roll a Constitution save like per day, if you know what I mean. So we'll do
See
everyone
how
for
it
one
goes.
day, because then we might have to like stop and just.
You
Try
are
it out, like-
noticing like it is hard to find game, and you haven't really saw any big creatures like the saber-tooths.
Can
They've
we speed run this?
Probably went into
please?
hibernation.
Speed run.
We are
Golly, you're
speed running,
fine.
my guy. Because this is a thing
Your
that
last
could
day,
kill
who
you.
cares?
So
You were grand.
It's my what?
It's your last day. You were grand.
do your first one for the first day of the last 3 to get back.
Okay.
Oh,
Ooh.
Abom seems to be perfectly fine at this point.
Oh, I thought that was my crit. Oh.
No, it was
Lol.
not.
Get
Clicked
wrecked.
at the exact same time.
Barrack starts recovering. Carrick, how are you faring on
Hang
your
on.
journey back?
Constitution saving throw.
Yep. You're also starting
Yay.
to recover. It's getting a little bit warmer on the way back.
Yes.
And the next day, you're no longer slowed by your movements, so you could probably make it back, but it'll be nighttime by the time you reach the hideout.
Okay. So do one more
One
Constitution.
more
yeah.
Constitution save. Oh, you have fully recovered. Now that it's not as cold. Still snow, still cold. probably at this point
Just wrapping
approaching
myself
winter.
up in furs, probably. and
Actually,
stuff.
let me do a wee check of something here. Ooh, ooh. So as you're I'll do the barrack save throw and air bombs. So air bombs chilling a bit again, but it is now time for Carrick's last saving throw to make it back to the hideout in one piece.
Nope.
You're slowed down, but you do manage to make it there. Like, this would be use rolling up,
Just-
seeing the
yeah.
cave entrance just in the distance, and being like, ah, we made it. And then just collapsing outside. But what you would have noticed on your journey back, which took in total 12 days because of being slowed, that the days are getting really short. Really short. Looking up into the sky, you see the large celestial body of a planet that you're orbiting around, and the sun, which you could normally see the whole sun. The sun is now starting to become eclipsed by, like, right at the very edge. Just the very, very tip of the sun is slowly moving behind the very edge of the planet.
The
Winter
winter nights are among us, or upon us.
winter is upon you. There are a couple days before the sun will be completely behind the planet and true winter comes into effect. But early
there-
winter has begun.
Can I say that, like, over the couple of days that I've been traveling, saying I've got nothing else to do, like, I've been able to, like, test out my goggles of night.
Yes, they do let you see pretty decently clearly in the night. They're actually quite marvelous.
Wait a minute, what are these? You've got spectacles.
They would pretty much allow you to see the same as Barrack or Carrick
Carrick.
in the night. You can both see pretty much the same thing when it's dark.
Oh, cool, nice. They will definitely come in handy very soon.
Yes,
Right. So, do we make it back then alive?
you do. You
Brilliant.
actually
Brilliant.
do survive.
Are there people here?
Do you want to go in, or do you want to stop that you just got back to the cave and lived?
I want to see if there's people alive.
So you enter the hideout. So as you
We do the gay whistle.
enter the cave itself into the first room and let out the signaling whistle that a member has arrived,
No one is there.
there is no response.
Yes, I knew it. I knew it. Everyone died in Medford.
Well, no, there was a group supposed to be left behind.
They
Not
clearly
currently there.
got chicken shit.
Shit, I don't know how to open the hideout up from the outside.
Luckily, you have thieving tool master beside you. Can I do this, Andrew?
Yeah, we're both thieving tool masters, you fucking idiot.
Yeah, you're both pretty good at.
But it's
Oh.
not
Doors.
that type of thing. It's a giant fucking rock door.
You can always attempt it and see if you can work out how to open it from the outside.
This is a holy arcana
Do
check,
we have
isn't
to
it?
roll investigation or do we have to roll thieves too?
Roll with your thieves tools. Just to see if
both
you
of
can
us.
find a way and then open it.
You do better than me.
Well, technically, I will just roll again, Macaulay, because I
Can I
will
do
like
that?
assist you. So
Yeah,
then
if he's
it'll
helping
roll.
you would get advantage.
Okay, 14.
So-
not much.
You're trying your best on like both doors all across the room, and for the life of you, you cannot find anything that even shows there's a door here. Other than the fact that hitting on where the door would be, it doesn't sound like rock. It looks like rock, it's perfectly flush, not even hardly leaving a gap along the edges. You can't find anything that shows a way to get in from your side.
Could we get A-bomb to try to pull it across?
Oh, good God. That's
He would probably
ambitious.
need to break in, like push into it. There's nowhere for him to like really get his hands onto it. He'd need to bash through the door.
I'm assuming I can't try with my thieves'
Yeah,
tools because I assisted.
Yeah, you assisted him, so it was pretty much both of you working together to do it.
Where did all my...
Hmm.
Oh, no, never mind.
Um,
Where did I lose £16 off? Was it rope?
kind of need to get in here, like. A-bomb, knock it
It
down.
was your food disappearing, Mackay, that took
Oh,
away a
it's
lot
the
of the
food,
weight.
right, okay.
So you want Airbomb to just bust through the door?
Oh yeah, yeah. Just bust through the right one.
There's 2 doors.
The main one in?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that was the wrong one. Strengths.
Constitution. No.
So he's currently
Well,
just
I would say
ramming
we
into
could
it with
all-
his shoulder.
Can we all assist him?
Well, it would just take him a while to knock it down, but eventually he
Ah,
does
okay.
knock it down. With a couple of shoulder barges, a couple of kicks, whacking off them all like a kind of like a battering ram. He eventually does knock down the door. You see that there's no guard waiting at the entrance of the tunnel. There's no lights inside. Seems as though there's no one there.
Okay. Do move to the next door is
I'll just open up the map. Get the fuck. Okay, so pretty much looking throughout the whole place, all the doors have been left open except the doors that are locking the way to the treasury and Selma's room at the top, and everywhere else seems to be completely abandoned. You see
So
in the
does-
cooking
does it
area,
not-
there are like plates and bowls of food that seem to have just been left in a hurry.
okay.
She's there.
Is any of the food still eatable?
Oh no, it's far gone. Like there's a stink as soon as you come in. Like the food that's there is rotten. It's been left there for a while.
Alright.
The guild is
Um,
dead. No.
can I see if I can use thieves' tools to get into Selma's room?
You can certainly try.
I'll give it a go.
You can always give it a go, see what happens.
I will assist in this matter. You can roll twice
Okay.
this time.
Advantage.
Oh, my pick
Jesus.
broke.
You have advantage. You are being assisted.
You fool, that is not how you pick a lock. That is how you pick a lock.
So you're trying your best to pick this lock, but this is a very intricate, delicate lock that you've
Oh,
never
gee.
experienced before. It's something new, and you
Yeah,
just can't
I
find
guess.
the way to get the tumblers up to get into the room. A lock crafted by thieves is built specifically to stop thieves getting in. Very hard to pick.
Back in the main storage area, is there anything there that we can use to eat?
Looking through the kitchen, the storage, the sleeping area, it's quite strange. Seems as though the majority of crates and supplies are gone. There's only a few boxes left, but there is enough scraps left over that you could get a good, decent meal out of.
Okay.
Like, pretty much the whole place seems deserted, and all the stuff from the storage room looks like it's gone. There's only a few things left over.
But the treasury doors are still closed.
The treasury doors are still closed, yes.
Yes, we will have to take a mental note of that. Possibly come back. What are the just out of curiosity? What are the doors made of?
These are hard set, like
Steel
the
doors.
first ones the first ones on either side are like iron reinforced, big heavy wooden doors
Okay.
that are like set
Okay.
into the stone.
Right. And then can we even see the third one?
Oh no, you can't see what's past that.
So we technically only can we only see one door?
You can only see like the front doors on either side, but you know that there's more doors layered behind that.
Okay.
A multitude of doors.
Suppose we'll just have to rest the night here and then probably spend the next couple of days.
Actually, roll a perception while you're looking at the doors.
There's no notes or anything left, I'm assuming.
No notes.
Jeez,
Uh,
these rolls
perception,
tonight have been shocking since this dragon scene. Like.
Perception. What about Eba?
We'll see how Ebon
He's a
does.
very perceptive man.
Okay, so Ebon doesn't notice anything about the doors, but as he's stepping away, he's like, "Ah, got blood all over my boots." Starts kicking his foot around.
Blood.
Yeah, there's some blood here, like covered in dust and dirt. Ugh. Starts trying to kick his foot about to the dirt to get the blood off.
What, beside the door?
Near the door, like there's a small pool of blood that's maybe a couple paces from the door.
Hmm.
Taking a closer look around the room,
Is there more?
you see, like, after you've been on the road almost 2 weeks, getting from the mountain down, and goodness knows how much longer since you actually left here. And you're beginning to notice, looking around a bit more aware after what Ebom said, the floor is covered in quite a lot of, like, not dried blood, but blood that has been spilt and starting to, like, thicken and solidify like it's been there for a while. And there's actually some, like, blood on the walls, like handprints, splatters of blood. Very faint, since there's not that much light other than the light of your lantern. You're like, oh, this is, like, there's quite a bit of blood around the different walls, the different rooms. Something's went down.
Hmm. Right. Before we leave, Carrick, do we want to try to get into Selma's room or the treasury?
Sorry, I'm just looking between the leader's room and the treasury intently here. Eeny, meeny, miny, treasury.
Okay, which side are you going in?
Are you sure? Because my thoughts are that
Wait, no,
possibly in the leader's room
we-
there could be keys to the treasury.
That is also very
But
true.
then I'm kind of I'm assuming there's no keys on Nathan.
Not that you found. He didn't have any keys on him.
Leader's room it is. I want to see.
Yeah, it should be. Right. What is this door made out of?
Titanium.
Her door?
Yeah.
Same as the treasury doors, like hard, like thick wood with iron reinforcements. Though just roll an intelligence check before you.
Like, quickly,
bang into the door.
Where I come. I'm so smart.
So
Oh, he's even smarter.
you're thinking, and you're like, 3 doors, 3
Versus one
leaders, 3 doors, 3 leaders.
We're geniuses.
Where would Nathan have put his key if he didn't have it with him?
Leaders
That's all you can
rare.
think of. There's 3 doors, 3 leaders, most likely 3 keys for the 3 doors to get in. But he didn't have his key with him, so he must have hid it.
We are
Before
now
he
the
left.
leaders. Apart from Selma, who might be dead.
Does where does the only real place we've seen Nathan go before he left?
What you
was
would
in
know
the
is
leader's room?
That most of the time Nathan would have, he was kind of your father figure, but not always
Why?
there. You pretty much lived in that, like, hideout house in Medford. That's actually his.
Oh.
Nathan owns that house. That's his place that he's using as a sanctuary.
Okay.
And and he was, there sometimes, away sometimes, which you're now presuming is this is where he was the times he wasn't with you. But you would have to try and work out where he hid his key before he went on this journey. And
Okay.
then another key would be Selma's, and another key would be Damien's,
Damien's.
who
Fuck, we don't
was
know anything
staying
about
here,
Damien.
but you've got no clue where he is.
Uh. mm, Maybe we should go see the state of Medford first before we just start blowing shit up. But also in a way, this place looks pretty damn abandoned. So I don't think anyone's gonna be coming back. So
We do not know.
fuck. Andrew, looking
Yes.
at Selma's door, could we have an assumption that a spark bomb would blow it up?
It would probably damage the door. Blow it up? Maybe. If you got a well placed spot, you might be able to blow the lock and then open the door.
Okay. Right, we're gonna try to blow up the door.
Okay.
We'll move the beds and stuff out of the way because we probably want to sleep on those later, and we don't want them blown up as well.
So for this,
Uh,
we will do.
we'll just roll for spark bomb damage.
For like are you just gonna chuck it at the door, or are you gonna try and attach it to the lock for it to blow up?
Yeah, I was gonna try to even like tie some rope to it or something, like tie some rope that it's sort of sitting.
Make
Like-
like an intelligence check just for the setup of putting it in the right place for it to explode the most effectively. And then, okay,
Oh,
double
Jesus.
20s and intelligence of all things. So you get the
I have a
bomb
blast.
like perfectly placed at the lock, tied on by a
Is
rope
that
and dangling
C4?
down. Speak the magic word to the bomb and just dive out of the way as the echoing explosion rings out across the room.
Woo!
Looking over your shoulder, you see that splinters of wood have went flying everywhere, and there's now probably a 1 foot hole blasted where the lock was, and the door kind of swinging on its hinges.
Nice. Right. Let's go into the leader's room.
Oh.
Well, Carrick, you can go whenever you want, but
In
you
the
can
mo-
go now. You can go now if you want. Yeah, you can.
In the room, there's a bed, a wardrobe, a chest, and a desk.
I have one spark bomb left now.
Looking in the room, the chest is open and empty. The bed is like nicely made and untouched. The wardrobe door lies open, and there's a lot of papers on the desk.
Can we? So everything's empty except on the desk where there's papers.
The wardrobe has clothes in it, but if you rummage through it, it's just normal clothes for like wearing that don't look like armor.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. What the papers? Say?
Both of you make investigation on the desk. Oh,
God damn it!
almost. Oh,
Oh,
okay. So
that's what we need, boy.
as you're looking at the desk and looking through the papers and stuff, Beric, you knock a note off the table. Carrick reaches down to grab it, and you see that at the left side of the desk, where there's some drawers that you've been looking through, there is a small, what looks to be hidden compartment in the desk. And as you open it up and put your hand in, you find a rolled up piece of parchment. Unfolding it, and you begin to read. It's a partially written note from Selma. It's not finished, but from the general gist of what you can read in the note. Well, it's a note to Selma, not from Selma. It's not a finished note, but what you can gather from it is that somebody within the guild was a traitor. Somebody was betraying the secrets of your organization to the local lord, Sir Bell.
Lol.
They didn't know who
Okay.
it was, but they themselves
Got a
had
bit more
become
dramatic, don't
compromised and known to the lord. And something needed to be done. Whoever it was needed to be found, or the guild would surely fall. But the rest of the note seems to be unreadable, where a splattering of blood has covered the bottom portion and whatever was left of the letter.
Whoever holds this hammer, if he be worthy, shall possess the power.
So
Uh,
pretty much you find a bloodied note. It looks hastily addressed and wrote to Selma about a
That's
traitor
it,
within the
that's it.
guild.
That's a highly convenient point to end. So it is.
It
Highly
is.
convenient.